Go, Rocky.
Fifers arriving. Welcome to the Fifers. I'm Rocky, that's Gilly, and that's Little Tate. And today we're doing 3 podcasts in a row today. This is the 3rd one in a row, and we're happy about it because it gives us time to have fun and just talk about whatever the fuck we want. And who wants to start it off? Probably Gilly. So let's go.
I'll let you start it off, Rocky, because you got something to say about copyright.
Oh yeah, hey, you fucking idiots. You idiots that complain about copyright because we don't say something that you like. Fuck you. Fuck your name and fuck from where you fucking came. If you want everyone to enjoy it, let everyone enjoy it. Or be ready to be disrespected and fucking hated for that shit. Just like you hate us that are free thinkers and not communist fucking dumb fucks like you fucking cunts.
Trump's a fascist. Trump's a fascist. Oh my God.
Fucking goddamn motherfucking fascist fucks. You need to learn what right wing and left wing is. Fascism comes from the fucking left wing. You dumb fucking fucks. Oh wait, who's the left wing fuckers?
Democrats.
Yeah! Oh my gosh! How do you guys not see that? Are you that fucking stupid? What is that?
Because
it's something.
they can tell us tell us not to drink the Kool-Aid, right? When it comes to Trump, but they're the ones drinking all that delicious Kool-Aid Democrats have been putting out for decades.
Dude, I don't even drink the Kool-Aid with Trump because I understand he is just a man. He is not God. He is not the Savior. He is not the Messiah. There's only one guy that's the Messiah, and you all killed him, and he rose from the dead. So you're going to deal with him chin-checking you motherfuckers later on.
All right.
Just stand by for that shit. Stand by for fucking rolls.
All right. Now, how the fuck do you lose a fucking plane off the goddamn carrier?
Because a giant ass cat pushed it off, dude. Didn't you see that?
Oh yeah, I saw that. That was pretty funny.
See,
That
this
fucking meme.
after it's being towed back into the hangar bay. What this one was saying. Oh,
It was on the boat. It wasn't fucking chained, was it?
they was taking it back to the hangar bay. It was being towed.
So yeah, they have these machines right on the aircraft carrier.
Yeah.
Fucking tugs.
They tow it right,
Yeah.
and then they put it on the. You have these elevators that go up and down, and they're on. I think they're on both sides, but mainly it's on the starboard side, if I'm correct. It was on the Lincoln, as I remember, and the Benson, the Chucky V, which the Chucky V was awesome. And you chain that fucking shit up, and you chalk and block it. You know,
Write that
you did
bitch down, baby.
Well, see, and like this one, there's the crew members who were the pilots, the Super Hornet and all the small towing tractor, both jumped out before the jet and tug went into the Red Sea.
What was the fucking sea state?
Well, it doesn't say.
It wouldn't matter on a carrier anyway, dude. They can go see State fucking 5. You should know that, Rocky.
Well, dude, even on the carrier, dude, when we hit rough seas, I would feel the boat go up and down, dude.
Yeah, but I mean, barely. I mean,
not to the extent of like the fight, but you did feel some stuff, man. It rocked me to fucking sleep too. I loved it.
So let's see here.
Like living in a giant cradle, dude.
Well, 2 U.S. officials say initial reports suggest the jet may have fallen overboard after the carrier turned sharply while taking evasive action against the Yemen, rebels.
So why were they not at fucking gun quarters?
Why
were they not? Where's the TAO? Where's the ATWO? Sorry to put out.
But why would if you're taking fire from the rebels, right? Okay, why the fuck are you gonna be taking a plane back down to the fucking hangar?
I would be launching that motherfucker. I would have launched a helicopter with a fucking 50 cal on it or something like that, and been like, "Hey, you want to do this? Let's go. I'm your Huckleberry."
But I mean, how many planes did they fucking lose a year like that? I don't know of the one that they've lost like that. I mean, it might happen more than what we think.
Yeah, I think it happens a lot more than I think, but I think a lot of it made news when the previous administration was in office because all they ever showed was incompetence.
And I was like, how the fuck? I mean, that's been a couple weeks ago too, though. So we just never, I forgot to forgot to bring it up. So
yeah, I mean, there's a reason. I hate to say it this way, but there is a reason these things fucking happen. When you put people in a job they're not qualified to do, they're not trained to do, they're not mature enough to do, they don't even care to do, you're going to keep on getting stupid shit like that. And besides the fact that, like, where's the captain? Where's the XO? Where's the SECO? Where's the gun officer? Where's the gunno? Why are they not at fucking gun quarters? If they're going through the Red Sea, where in the fucking Red Sea are they going? And was it through the fucking Suez Canal?
And they just said they was in the Red Sea. So I'm assuming they's out of the fucking Suez Canal.
Okay, so, but there's two parts of the Red Sea when you have like the Nile or you have the Suez Canal. Also, the Red Sea is on this other part next to Sinai, right?
Yep.
Like when they talk about the Exodus with Moses or Moshe, they were out of Egypt when they crossed the Red Sea. So it's like the Red Sea is a lot bigger than everyone thinks, and
oh hell yeah,
sea state adjust, all that other stuff. You're going to be at least on alert. You should be at least, especially if you're doing. Well, were they doing flight ops? Flight ops are still at high security. The TAO. Yeah. I mean, you have people in combat, you have people in ops, you have people that are looking at radars and all that other shit to be like, okay, well, let's make sure that the fucking common operating picture is fucking good to go. The COP, right? You know what the COP is, right? Everyone should know that. Common operating picture, the fucking whole view of what's going on in that area that you know of. That intelligence and planes and radars and cameras should be fucking telling you. So, I mean, yeah, I think a couple of heads are going to roll because you can't lose a plane like that and then be like, oh, I'm sorry, it's my bad. No.
The Super Hornets are probably, what, $1 billion planes by now?
Are they the really new ones?
Nobody gives a fuck about assets. Look at all it was left in Afghanistan. I don't give a fuck.
Dude, I was out of the Navy by that time when that happened, right? That happened in August, right?
I'd have to look again at the exact date.
Yeah.
Something like that.
It reminded me of Vietnam. Like everything that everybody did from 2002, 2001 to 2021 was fucking pointless because they did that. They allowed these people to get weapons, guns, tanks, and other military vehicles. Yeah, they stripped them of certain parts, but you can't get those from the fucking black market. You can't get those on eBay. Like,
watch Lord of War, dude.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. Yeah, that's a good movie with Nicolas Cage and Jared Leto before he fucked up the Joker.
And went batshit crazy.
Yeah. I forget how he did that stupid laugh. I'd be a better fucking Joker. I just don't have the face for it. But
you'd have to slip down for that one.
Yeah, I mean, it makes me mad that they're doing this. It's like, come on, man. I mean, I understand that everybody's human and they're going to make mistakes, but there's fucking SOPs. There's pre-planned responses. There's sequencing systems and emergency operating procedures to fucking make sure you don't do this stuff. There should also be people walking around making sure that people are doing the fucking right thing. Like a safety observer. So, I mean, if that's what happened to the Navy the past 4 years after I got out, man, we're in a really bad state.
Nah, I mean, look at all the times we spilled fuel.
Well, that you know what? I think spilling fuel is more normal.
We spilled lube oil right out of the hub at fucking May 5th at Everett 98.
Dude, I was in Gitmo when the whole BP thing happened in 2010. Remember that shit? The whole BP oil spill, I think it was in the Gulf of Mexico, right?
Yeah, when the well broke down in the ocean.
Yeah, I don't know if it
The
went
valve
to,
itself.
I don't know if it went down to the Caribbean where I was. I was in the Caribbean at the time because I was in Gitmo.
It was pretty big. I mean, that was crude too. I mean, it was a shutoff valve is what blew. I mean,
And no,
it's oh, speaking of oil rigs, dude, I was watching little documentary of how many abandoned rigs there actually are. There's like thousands of them in the Gulf that you don't
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
It's like people don't realize how big the ocean really is. And you've got thousands of rigs that you'll never fucking see that are abandoned unless you get out to them, get their location. But
Remember
they're
when we were on the
falling
5 and
apart.
2000? Remember when we were on the 5 and 2000 and we would stop by those oil rigs
yep.
in VBSS?
Well,
Like I was on there. I don't think I went on an oil rig, but I know some of the guys did. I think. But I was on a boat that we had a guard because of the whole date
yep.
thing with Saddam Hussein.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm really passionate about the Navy because I did it for 24 years, just like you did, Little Tank. You did it for fucking what, 8 years, Gilly?
8 years. Yeah.
8 years. I mean, that's a good chunk
Wow.
of everybody's life.
Yeah, and I'm still looking for a job. So fuck the job report, man. Fucking 4.2%. Fuck you, motherfuckers. Put that fucking shit down and talk to everybody who doesn't have a fucking job.
They just don't like us fucking Navy guys when you go for jobs.
I'm gonna stop fucking putting on my application. I'm fucking white and I'm fucking male. I'm gonna put on there prefer not to fucking disclose.
Put Italian. Put Italian on that motherfucker.
I mean, I am fucking part Italian.
You know how sad it is that you can't say, yeah, I'm a male and I'm white because society in America hates me. And then they expect people to fucking die for the country.
Hey, I tell people all the time, hey, if they ask me, I'm white and I'm fucking proud. If you don't like it, go fuck yourself.
No, I know. I am too. I'm not gonna not disclose it. It's just me being fucking sarcastic because I'm proud of who I am. I'm proud of my fucking race.
Just put that you're illegal.
Done, so
just put that you're illegal.
Right?
Oh, they'll give you gifts and fucking a new.
I've actually seen on the application that asks specifically if I'm Hispanic. It's a separate line item from your ethnicity, and then ask you again about it.
Get you a fucking tan and start speaking like fucking Pedro.
I used to as a kid, man. I could show you some old pictures of me being tan as fuck, like real Italian tan.
If you vote for me, all your dreams will come true.
Rocky the Mexican for president. There we go. That's the slogan right there.
Dude,
2028 people. Rocky's running for president.
And you guess what? I'm gonna wear this shirt when I do the fucking inauguration. I'll be like, fuck wearing a suit. I don't give a fuck about you fucking dumb fucks and your traditions.
Be like John
Fetterman, president, and protect the country and protect everybody. And the people that don't want to be protected, you can fuck off and go to another country. Go fuck yourself.
We'll see. We'll see. Me, a little thumper. We'll walk in with bats on our shoulders.
you need to make it like the bat that's Lucille.
Yep. Or be dressed like a 1930s gangsters, 20s gangsters would be, right? Carrying bats. Right next to, okay, motherfuckers, we got you.
And we're gonna
bashing heads in, bitches.
The first thing I'm gonna say is we're gonna fix fucking haircuts. Men are not gonna have haircuts that make them look like they're fucking having bananas with their bangs. See that? My son has that haircut. I'm like, it's the fucking gayest shit I ever saw. It's from the 1980s. You guys look fucking stupid.
That shit's coming back in style, man. That shit's coming back in style.
It's like 1983, 1984, and the last time I checked, 1983 was Return of the Jedi, and 1984 was The Karate Kid. And they had terrible fucking haircuts in those fucking movies. Although Princess Leia looked awesome. Every man dreams of that if he likes girls. But,
Speaking of that, no more lady boys in the military. Supreme Court allows Trump to implement transgender military ban, people.
Yeah, I seen that.
Because, it's not something that everyone can do. You have to qualify to do it. Just like that dumb bitch that wants to be a fucking Navy SEAL. Prove to me you can actually do the job. Prove to me also that you can be cool, calm, and collected when it actually fucking counts.
Now, if a woman ever made it through Budge, right, I'd shake that bitch's hand, right?
Yes,
Because
I
that's
would.
a,
I would respect her.
because that right there is some hardcore fucking training. You know, you got Ranger women, right?
Yeah.
Budge is 10 times worse than fucking Ranger school is on, you know, physicality on your body. You know,
Yeah.
I'd shake her hand and be like, okay, now can you reproduce now after going through that body? You know, change, you know, tearing down your body like that.
No, because you know what? There was a Marine captain. Remember that Marine captain went on CNN or Fox News or MSNBC, some of the stupid news stations that are fucking all propaganda. They all fucking lie to us. Whether they're right wing or left wing, they still fucking lie because they're faggots. But she said, I can't have kids now.
Yep.
So the most important thing that she could do, which would be to bear children and create and keep the human race going, she can't do.
Yep.
So, I mean, there's got to be a line where it's like, you know, certain people are designed to do certain things.
Yep.
It doesn't mean you can't do other things, but this is the most important thing that you will do.
Shit, man. I seen a report that Japan is selling more diapers to older people than they are kids. This is a no bullshit. Like, I'm not making a joke.
Yeah.
No,
like,
no.
it's fucking serious.
Yeah, the herbivore men, right?
Yeah, literally, like, their population is now overshadowed by elderly.
Yes, because the girls out there are just like the girls in the West.
Well, no, it's the men too. Men have, everybody is like narcissistic and self gratification.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care about the family dynamic anymore, because you're right, because the way that everybody is, that like they don't care. They go to work, they do their thing, they come home, you know, they self gratification, whether it be video games, reading, you know, going to whorehouses, whatever, dude. You know, they do whatever. And then the women are the same way too. It's self gratification. You know, they go on Instagram or whatever and get their validation from pictures and makeup and all these different, you know, avenues. You know, men are just checked out. I've seen so many of the checked out, like you said earlier, that it's just overwhelming, the amount of information that comes out.
I got something to tell you. I'll be right back in a second. And I talked to this person on TikTok because they followed me. And I've never produced one video on TikTok. I'll be right back. Hold on.
Shit, I got rid of TikTok. I got tired of that motherfucker.
I ain't never had TikTok.
This stuff, I mean it's fun.
It was crazy when I seen it, and I was listening to a little bit of it, and you know, with the size of Japan, that dynamic is starting to be seen across the world.
Yep.
You know, even China, they keep fucking with their population numbers, like their census, and they're finding that there's less and less, they've been saying, of their population. You know, one guy claimed that they've lost like 900 million from their census.
Now, if I could fly, I would fucking go to Japan, you know, and start breeding those women. Because they're paying you to do it.
No, they're not. It's a fucking lie. I've been watching the Japanese women talk about Western men. They're at the point where they don't want to deal with any Western men anymore.
Because they had that thing put out.
Not in the cities. All the cities in Japan don't want anything to do with American or Western men in general. Because
they had that thing put out that they'll pay people to come, you know, make babies.
It's a fucking lie. It's a fucking lie. It's not true.
Fuck, I would do that. Hell yeah. If it was.
Rural areas, yes. Like Philippine rural areas, Japan, what? Say what? Okay, thanks. But yeah, you see a lot of that, and it is the city girls, but the rural, but there's not a lot of rural women anymore out there. They've thinned out because they've came to the cities because nobody wants to farm anymore.
Yep.
So I want to read you guys something that was on TikTok. I read this to my wife yesterday, right?
It's all bullshit, whatever it is.
It is. But I want to point this out to you, and I don't care who gets mad. I don't give a fuck. Because I was being 100% honest the whole fucking time. This girl says, hello. I say, hi. She says, how are you doing? I said, getting ready to work. I can talk later, though. So I didn't talk to her for 6 days. If it's really a her. She says, where are you from? I said, California, but I live in North Carolina. You? She said, I'm from NC, but currently live in Texas for work. I said, what do you do for work? She said, I work for a company that sells and buys antique furniture. I think that's fucking stupid. Okay. I'm and she's like, what do you do for a living? I say, I'm retired military and I own and operate a taco truck with my wife. I always tell them I'm married. Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
She says, oh, you're married. I said, nice job. She says, nice job. I'm single and searching for friendship. And she asked me, what are you looking for here? And I told her, good for you. You're single or whatever, right? I said, nothing. I just watch videos and see what is going on in the world, right? I want to pulse on what's going on in the culture in the world, right? She says, oh, you got kids? I said, yeah, I said, I got 3. She says, cool. I would like to know more about you, though. Can we be friends? I said, how old are you? She said, I'm 27 years old. What does it mean when a girl's 27 years old and she's single?
Nah, that's a fucking AI bot, dude. That ain't even
Yeah.
real. Listening to that conversation is bullshit.
And then I said, I'm 47, right? She said, sure, we can be friends, but I have to get to know you first.
It's exactly an AI chat bot, dude.
It gets even better, right? I said, that's why I want us. She says, that's why I want us to know more about each other. I said, what do you do for fun? She said, what do you do for fun? I said, I work out, play guitar, read, hang out with my wife and kids. She says, I like fishing, camping, and hiking. So ask me questions. What do you want to know about me? I said, what is your worldview? She's like, what do you mean by worldview? You know what, guys? You know what worldview means, right?
Nope.
Worldview is like, how do you view the world? What's
I
your
know.
view on the universe, cosmology? Do you believe in God or do you believe in no God? Or do you believe in multiple gods? Kind of thing, right? And she says, I said, she's like, what do you mean by that? I said, how do you see the world? Like religion and politics. Do you believe in a God? And which one? She says, yes, I'm a Christian. I said, cool. Are you a feminist? She's like, yes. I said, are you born again? She says, yes, like John chapter 3. I'm like, I asked her, like John chapter 3. She says, I see you're a Christian too. I said, so I asked her, why are you a feminist? I said, it goes against the Bible and Christianity, especially when you learn about the occult origins or the satanic origins of feminism. And she's like, okay. I said, I've seen how feminism has destroyed all this crap, but you get the gist of it. This person couldn't talk to me anymore because they could not like come up with the fucking answer or justification for what they did. And, whether it's a fucking bot or not, if you make a bot think, it's going to lose. If you make a person think that's not able to fucking think correctly or have any fucking, what is that, critical thinking skills?
Yeah.
they
I just
can't
talked about that the other night through
Yeah,
my
last
one of my
night, actually.
papers.
You
I
better be
never,
careful. You
I
better be
never
careful.
imagined that we would have a time where everybody was so in tune to their feelings and they would trust their emotions and feelings instead of logic and reasoning and what's right and what's wrong.
No, I went through the psychology of the separating emotion from critical thinking. Like I was reading one of the PhDs for psychology, Dwyer, and he talks about how you separate emotion from critical thinking, because when you have emotion, it becomes biases, right?
Yeah.
That's how they become, because emotion feeds into your biases.
That's
So
right.
you're going to have emotions regardless of critical thinking, because it becomes passion when you're in the communication. That's what drives you for your critical thinking, is that passion to have it. So it's very interesting, like those, you have to separate them at some point.
You do. And I understand that it's difficult. Even for a guy, it's difficult, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember, dude, I had a friend. She's still my good friend. She was Heidi's friend, my wife's friend, when they were in junior high. And she was single, right? This girl looks like a fucking supermodel and she's Indian. One of the most prettiest girls I've ever met. Single. Her boyfriend broke up with her because she voted for Trump in 2016. And she was single, right? And she was always a liberal Democrat. She has a law degree and all this other stuff. She's got it going on, right? She's very smart, very educated. Couldn't get a guy. And she was one of those people that thought that guys don't have emotions or they don't have feelings or anything like that. I was like, dude, we're just as mushy inside as you are. We just don't tell you that. And she's
That's
like,
because I remember seeing one of the kind of like black pastor guys talking about that. Once a man opens up once and then you use that barb against him one time, he'll never do it again. And it doesn't have to be you. It can be anybody in his past, that somebody who actually gives a shit, not the Playboy Chad or any of that shit, but a genuine man. If he's been burnt once, will take forever to trust anybody ever again about certain, with their feelings.
yeah, and that's true.
And you can take it any way you want to. You can be offended by it. I don't give a fuck. But that's the truth about men. When you're a real man, if you're a fucking soy boy and shit like that, yeah, you want to cry about everything and act like a bitch. But, most guys do want to tell their feelings. We're sitting here doing a podcast, same way, telling our feelings about things. But with a woman, when you get fucking burnt, that's it. Like,
Yep.
You used it against me, you're going to do it again and again and again and again. And men are the same way, too. It goes both ways. Like, a woman opens up and use barbs against her to get, that foot up. It's the same thing. But
I have a story about that. Remember when the stupid man versus bear thing happened?
Oh, God, I love that one.
I had this girl tell me, why we would rather have a bear than a man. And I was like, go ahead and tell me.
Sure.
And she's like, well, because, the man is meaner than the bear. I'm like, did you choose the man? I told her, for your fucking female intuition, you sure have a bad fucking way of choosing a good guy for you, right? And she just fucking lost it. I'm like, you choose to have sex with these guys. So if you're mad, who do you blame? You can't blame the guy. You're the one that opens up to them. You have that power. And when you use that power incorrectly, kind of like Indiana Jones in The Last Crusade, you chose poorly. It's your fucking fault. And they didn't have a comeback for that. Like they listened to try and beat me in this argument. And I was like, well, when logic dictates that you're the one that chooses the men, you saw the guy's character. You saw he had this many baby mamas before you. What did you think was going to fucking happen?
Oh, and one of the best ones out there, right? He's a gamer. Well, was he a gamer when you fucking met him? If the answer is yes, shut the fuck up about him gaming. Just shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I mean, now guys are gaming because there's no reason to work hard or do anything because there's no wife to have.
Nah, man, we were gaming way before then, dude.
No, I understand that, and I used to make fun of people that played video games, but then I saw it, and then when I came home in 2021, and I saw it. I finally saw what was actually going on when it came to my sons and the girls at the schools. And I was like, I told Heidi, I said, I really hate that my sons play video games. I want them to get out there and get girlfriends. And then I saw actually what was going on, right? I watched TikTok. I watched YouTube. I watched all of these videos where all these women, all they did was bash men, talk down to men, say, if you're not 6 feet tall, we don't like you or whatever, right? Okay, well then we're going to disengage.
Well, and I think from my perspective, growing Gen X, we played video games, like we gamed, but we still went outside and fucking rode bikes, fucking went out with friends. We touched grass, and gaming was like, a second part of shit. You know what I mean?
Like when you had to come back in at night, that's when we did a lot of the games.
Or you were grounded from going outside. You're like, fuck, I guess I'll play the Nintendo.
I never got grounded from going outside. Never did.
That was my big punishment. It's like, you ain't fucking going outside for a week. Oh, fuck no.
Yeah, I know.
But it lasted 2 days. Like, get the fuck out of the house.
But if it was too hot outside, right, I'd go over to since we didn't have AC in the house growing up, I'd go over to a buddy of mine's not too far away, and since they had AC, we began to never see if it's too hot outside.
Whenever I got grounded, I was grounded for like a month. I couldn't leave my room. I wasn't even allowed to game back in the day. Like I couldn't. But I don't know if you guys remember, Murillo and I, we used to game all the time in the GSE shop on his Dreamcast. We used to play all the time in that thing.
Yeah, but like what I'm saying, when it came to my sons, I saw where they were doing it.
Oh.
You know, they would go outside, they would touch grass, they would go fishing, they would do wrestling, they would do sports, they would play guitar, they would do whatever, right? But the one thing that they never did was go out with girls. And being that I grew up in Gen X, like all of us are here, we're all Gen Xers, right? So we're the generation you don't want to fuck with because we'll just fuck you up. We're the latchkey kids, right? We came home alone and drank from the fucking water hose. We came home and went to bed after the fucking streetlights went on. So it's like, for me to go from the mentality that I had to understand what was going on with my sons, it was a fucking huge leap because I did not understand it. But then after I saw and started reading and educating myself on all this, I was like, I completely understand. That's why I sent you guys that video from MHD today, Manosphere Highlights Daily. Shout out to them because they're awesome. Whoever it is, I love that guy. He is spot on every fucking time, dude.
I haven't watched it yet.
He got Dr. Helen Smith. She wrote this book in 2012 or 2011 or 2013 called Men on Strike. Really good read. You should read the book. It's over a decade old, but everything that she says in that book is going on right now. And there's women that are having podcasts asking what's going on with men. And she's like, I wrote it down in the book. You guys refuse to accept the truth.
There you go, right there. My son's outside playing right now.
Good for him.
He don't.
He's running like, get the hell away from me.
He just threw it.
Well, there's another dynamic to that too, because I know in areas where you live, you can't let your kids go super far because you don't know who the fuck they're going to run into anymore.
I can't because it's so dangerous. This city is ridiculous.
Here I can. See, like in 2 years when River hit 6th grade, right? He's either going to have to walk to school, ride his bike, or be taken to school. But lots of parents in this neighborhood, they allow their kids to walk to middle school because it's not a mile away. It's the
well, I mean, yeah, I understand that. Like, dude, growing up in the 1980s in Wilmington, California, on fucking Freeze Avenue, I was like 1006 Freeze Avenue, I think was my house, right? That I lived in Wilmington, California. And it was right across was the LA County Library. One of the LA County libraries. I don't remember what it was, but a little bit down the street was like Tom's No. 1's Burgers. If you know Tom's Burgers, they're fucking great. And there's other Tom's all over the place, but that one was like number 1, apparently. I can't remember. I think so. But my dad was I was playing outside with my sister, and we were like probably 6 or 4. And my sister was riding a little bike. You know how the bikes had like the little fucking things? It's like a confetti, a cloth, like ribbon. I don't know what you call it. You know the bikes back in the 80s?
The streamers. Had the streamers on it.
Yeah. And there was a van. My dad was outside with me, right? He's outside. I was in the yard. We had a fenced in yard. We had fucking bars on the fucking windows.
Oh, shit.
And everything like that, right? A fucking steel door because of criminals. And there's a van pulling up. It was like a fucking white child molester van. Yeah, we need to kill those motherfuckers too. And then my dad got out there and ran to the front yard and ran through the fence and got my sister because this van was trying to pull up and kidnap her. This was in the 80s.
Yep.
So, you know, I knew that California and LA County was like that. But when I went to fucking Washington, D.C., Alexandria, Virginia, and Maryland, I saw the same fucking thing. There were more missing kids out there being kidnapped for really heinous reasons that we all know now. All you got to look as Epstein and fucking what is that stupid Wayfair thing that fucking Ellen DeGenerate fucking did?
You talking about the $30,000 fucking cabinets?
Yeah, and it's actually a fucking kid they're selling online for slavery.
Yeah.
Some fucking fucked up crap like that. I don't know how these people are allowed to get away with that crap.
Buddy.
Yeah. Money should not mean a thing.
See, I remember
taking it with them when they die.
See, the town I grew up in, when I got it was 170 people back then. It's about 190 now. But I had to go when I was 13 or 14, freshman year, before the school started. I had to go to the high school every day to lift weights Monday through Friday, right? Well, if I didn't have a ride, because it was 5 miles from my house to the high school. If I didn't have a ride, I rode my fucking bike on the fucking major highway, back there. Lift weights, 5 miles there, 5 miles back.
And you know what's crazy is like I want my kids to play outside, right? Like where I live in North Carolina, it's a pretty nice place. But every once in a while, when I drive the street to go to the gym, I see some fucking shady motherfuckers. And I'm like, no, not today. I said, you come to my front yard, you're going to regret ever doing that.
Rocky, I can see you having fucking claymores and all that shit around the yard.
No, dude. A lot of people used to think I'm a not threatening kind of guy. And that is the biggest mistake because I've already got a plan to fucking destroy you.
Rocky's got some fucking napalm and Trigger Wire got some napalm and go, whoosh.
No, it's going to be like, you ever watch Sin City and that Yellow Bastard? The Yellow Bastard movie with Bruce Willis where he plays Hardigan? Jessica Alba's Nancy Callahan, and how he rips the balls off that motherfucker that's trying to kill her or molest her.
I don't think I've ever seen that one.
It's Sin City's pretty good. I'm talking about it because I just read the Frank Miller books, right? And they're really good. Every Sin City was fucking good. It's really good. But it's that neo-noir stuff. Neo-noir, I can't fucking say it right. Noir or Nor? Neo-noir? Nor, right? Nor. So it's like the classic Humphrey Bogart shit. Like the Maltese Falcon.
Noir.
Huh?
Noir.
Noir, yeah. And like even in those movies, you don't do that to kids. You don't hurt children like that. Yeah, you punish them and you discipline them for when they do wrong, but you don't do that to people. Or you pay the price. And I think that's what we need to go back to. Sorry, but not sorry. I don't give a fuck. Golf, Foxtrot, Yankee, all you fucking dumb fucks that think it's okay to do that. If you want to be treated a certain way, you should treat people a certain way that you want to be treated. Right? That's the fucking golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Treat people as... And I don't think I'm going off on a fucking tangent here, but I love that picture of the Fight Thumper. It's pretty awesome. I love that fucking American flag and the fucking eagle. That looks fucking cool. And Homer is a fucking sailor and fucking Barney.
Well, here's
done a few of those.
Here's what it says right here.
What does it say?
When you have to muster and you're still drunk from last night.
Dude, that was fucking all of us. Dude. That was all of us all the time, dude.
All the time.
That started that in Japan, and then we carried it over stateside. Oh, I'm just checking some email real quick.
I got some gumbo cooking right now.
Nice.
Like I said, I made some gringo taco meat with a Taco Bell seasoning earlier.
I make my own taco seasoning. I don't like store-bought taco seasoning anymore.
Well, go fuck yourself because I do. We don't care. Flat out. No, I mean I'll add to the meat when I'm cooking it, like chipotle from Badia and some salt, pepper, onion, garlic, and then the meat has it, and then that just adds it in because they have that caking, the binder in there, and it makes it nice, and that's why I use it. And the kids like it, and it's like one of the few things I buy store bought.
This right here.
Yeah,
it's Tabasco, but it's scorpion sauce. It's spicy. I add this to my gumbo, and it kicks it up pretty good. That scorpion pepper Tabasco is it's legit spicy for being that.
I was gonna say for being a store brand.
Yeah, it's scorpion sauce. It's spicy. I had that, and I had a ghost pepper one. And
hey, when you come down, Thumper, you got to bring those chilies down so we can make salsa out of it, bro.
Oh, I will.
When you guys actually do come down, man, I can't wait to see you guys. It'd be fucking awesome, man. It's like the highlight of my fucking year.
Well, you're the only one that's excited about it then.
Yeah.
Well, Little Tate says best he's gonna be on pins and needles until that day comes.
Huh?
Little Tate said, "Why'd you tell Rocky he's supposed to be in Spry Heights? He's gonna be on pins and needles now."
Yeah, I was like, we were first discussing. I was like, we ain't gonna say nothing, and then this dickhead's like, "Oh, I'm too excited! I gotta fucking tell him."
You know what? It makes me happy I can still talk to you guys like this. But if I get to see you guys in person, it's 100 million times better.
Oh, we're gonna get fucked up too.
Oh, we are.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have fucking tacos. My wife makes amazing fucking tacos. She tells me, this is what she tells me. She's like, "Don't talk about me like that on the podcast. I don't want everyone to get mad." I was like, "No."
Why would they get mad?
Who's getting mad?
Yeah.
She thinks that people are going to get mad at me because I try to lift up and build up my wife. Like, why would I not build up somebody that's been such a great person to me in my life?
That's your partner, man. That's your ride or die.
She's not my partner. She's my wife.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm saying that's your partner you go through life with. Like, that's the person that will never leave,
I hope so, but...
Well, I mean, mine did.
Dude, there's another
few of them.
There's another girl out here, right?
Just a few.
I have the most respect for this one. She has like 2 little kids with him, right?
Shit.
He's like a construction worker, and he fell 8 stories.
Damn.
And fell on his head, and he's in a wheelchair right now. And she is such a great woman and a great wife. She takes care of him, and she's been a loyal female.
About 10 more minutes.
It's almost unfucking heard of nowadays, right? That a girl would stick with a guy that is handicapped right now, and there's no promise of him ever getting better, but she takes care of him. And she came and got tacos from us on Friday when we were in Conover, North Carolina, right? I think we're in Conover for at Walmart. We were at a super Walmart in Conover, right? Really nice Walmart, by the way. And, she is there. Her husband's in the car. And she's been taking care of this guy for almost 3 years now. And it's like, I have the most respect for her because she did that. She continues to do it, even though it's a big burden on her and it probably makes her life sad and she's not happy, but she loves the guy that much that she does it. She does that for her. It's like, that's a really awesome woman. You know what I mean? And I'm thankful for that girl because she's like that, because it gives me hope in the world. If there's still women like that out there, maybe there's hope for the human race to live on.
Very few and far between. Well, we ain't gonna be able to use grunt style for custom shirts.
We're not.
They gotta have a minimum order of 75 pieces.
All right,
Holy
I'll order 70 shirts. You know what? Let's do it. We'll sell them.
Ain't nobody buying shit.
Let's get our own shirts made somewhere else. We'll call it Rocky fucking military style.
Dude, we'll go to Chiefs.com, dude. I had to make shirts for the season. The only thing they asked for, the minimum amount, was just bulk prices.
Okay, so let's do it. Let's make sure that the shirts make us look buff. We need to get like the True Classics. You guys seen those T-shirts by True Classics?
What are you trying to
look
do?
like-
Hodge twin shit?
No, we're trying to be buff. We're trying to look sexy.
Like the Hodge twins?
I,
Because they stopped working out like they used to do.
I still work out. I have to do it or I'll go insane. But yeah, like I said, with that lady, that woman, she's a real lady. I think I told Heidi the other day. I said there's a difference between a lady and a woman. A lady is someone you respect a lot because she proved herself to be a really good woman. A woman is just a woman.
Now, is that the same Walmart that fucking kicked you out one day?
They're the ones that didn't want us parking in the front because we caused a huge traffic jam. Because we had like 50, 60 people in line. I don't know. You know what? I can't get mad at them for that.
Well, yeah,
Because
but
the last thing I want is I don't want people to get hurt, run over, or anything like that for fucking food. It,
Well, at
it would be
least-
the equivalent of fucking like Black Friday when people get stampeded to death over a fucking TV that's $300 that was $1,000 earlier. You
at
know what I'm
least
saying?
but at least you got that big of a line. You know, causing traffic back up.
You know what? I think it's awesome that happens for us, but I don't expect it all the time.
Yeah.
You know, I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for the
Can't
people
tell.
that come to us. Like, dude, I went to a doctor appointment yesterday, right? Because I'm going to get surgery because of my stomach and everything.
Yep.
You guys know what I told you. I'm not going to tell everyone else on the internet, but I went to the front desk and they're like, "Hey, so you retired?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm retired military, but I own a taco truck." They're like, the girl's like, "I love tacos." I'm like, "Well, that's great. Has he ever tried birria tacos?" And she's like, "Yeah, but you know, he loves all tacos. Anytime there's a taco truck, this guy will stop with his wife in the car and go get tacos." And I was like, have you tried this certain company?" She's like, "No." I said, "Well, that's us." I said, "That's me. I'm the one that talks like Mr. Krabs." I'm like, "I talk to you like Mr. Krabs when you come and order a taco from us." And they started giggling, and like the two girls at the front desk follows us. But the nurse that went and saw me before the doctor, she's like, "I fucking recognized you." She hadn't seen me in 2 years, but she ate tacos from us like 2 years ago. And she's like, "Your tacos are great." And I was like, "Well, thank you. I really appreciate it. I'm going to tell my wife that." And she's like, "So you're him?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's me." And she's like, "I love your fucking tacos." I'm like, "Well, thank you. We love you for loving our tacos. Come again soon." You know?
All right.
You gotta have one on there called the pink taco.
Make it shrimp, dude. Make it ahi. Like make it tuna.
I'm having perfect.
Remember, if it smells like cologne, leave it alone. If it smells like fish, it makes a great dish.
How about it smells like soap that's clean?
Gotta have that pH balance right down there.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Men get it too. Everybody thinks
No.
it's just women, but men do too.
See, this is fun. We're all having fun. We're laughing and
Dude, I'm on a roll tonight. I don't know why.
because you're having fun, bro.
Well,
It's
I'm
all
listening.
about having fun.
I'm listening to the sea shanties from Assassin's Creed Black Flag. So you can like download that whole soundtrack. So
Mhm.
they pop up randomly, dude. I'm telling you what, there's some good shit going on right now. Can't play it. You don't want to get copyright on Facebook.
You know what?
Or
my favorite-
YouTube. We've been hit on that on YouTube.
Yeah.
my
So now we've
favorite,
been hit on both fucking
Yeah.
platforms.
I think my favorite sea shanty is "What do you do with a drunken sailor?"
Yeah, it is. It really
You
is.
know what? Did you guys watch all the NFL fucking documentaries back in the 80s and 90s?
Fuck no.
Where they were like dun 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 dun
Saw some of them.
dun 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 dun, and it's like the Minnesota Vikings are fighting the Detroit Lions or the Raiders or
Yep.
fucking whatever, right? I was like, I've heard that song all my life, and I never knew it was the Drunken Sailor song until I watched SpongeBob in 2009 or
Why in the?
2008.
Sorry.
What's going on?
No, so the college, Purdue Online uses a program called Turnitin, and it looks for plagiarism and shit like that.
Yeah, I know what Turnitin is. Yeah.
Well, one of the classes it's not working, and the other class it just worked. So it's like I don't know how many times I should submit it because the professor hasn't emailed back yet. So I submitted it twice. It's still fucking broken. So I don't know. Whatever, man. It's turned in. It's time stamped. Not my fucking problem because it's on his, and I emailed him, and I got all the receipts.
So you don't have to write papers anymore that are like 30, 40 pages. You just do a PowerPoint.
Well, so it depends on what the instructor wants. I've done probably 30 PowerPoints since I started and quite a few papers. Typically, it's essays. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have the dysentery, or not dysentery, but whatever the fuck it is, dude. They're only bachelor level, not master level or PhD.
I remember, dude, I was going to AMU when I was in Bahrain, and I wrote this paper on the flood of Noah. And I had a bunch of books that were on the flood of Noah, and there was this one book. It said there's like 300 legends of the flood. I'm like, the names fucking match. I was like, so my theory was, if all these legends are from all around the world, maybe the flood of Noah was real. I got like 100% on that fucking thing. It was a 30-page paper, and this was at just like the regular bachelor's degree level.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, it depends on the instructor. Like I was saying, sorry, it's dissertations. Those are really long essays. Typically it's around 1,000, depending on what the subject is. Like American government was really long because you have to cover so many fucking elements in American government.
Did they talk about the Magna Carta?
No, none of that shit. Everything updated because I took that class during election season. So everything was fucking supercharged because you could tell the professor, he didn't say it out loud, was definitely against Trump. So I made sure that I kind of kept it even between Republicans and Democrats. That's when I told Gilly I shit all over Josh Hawley and the AIPAC, the Israeli and PAC itself and influences who gets money from them. You can go in there and find everybody's contributions from every fucking PAC, CPACs, super PACs, everybody that gets fucking money from these NGOs. It's not hard to find. It's there. They have to disclose it.
I'm almost thinking that NGOs are like, they shouldn't be around.
They're slush funds.
Yeah.
They're slush funds. It's money laundering. Yep. And it's all political bias. Nothing's fair.
And Democrats started that with fucking JFK's executive order.
Yeah, I mean that's why Doge.
And then Congress made it a fucking agency. What they did.
I think that a lot of those NGOs, they shouldn't get paid for shit. Oh. They're not doing anything good for anybody.
And you know who fucking learns this the most is us. When we get combined federal campaign, you remember the newspaper we used to get?
Yeah.
You see the percentages of how much actually goes to the campaign and administration. The highest I seen was 3% of your money donated goes to the charity. 97 goes to administration.
That's why I don't do it no more. Yeah, like, when you go to like Walmart and they're like, hey, do you want to donate money to this? I'm like, no.
Nope. Oh, and you know what? United Christian Fund, remember that from the 80s, sponsor a child in Ethiopia? That was the biggest fucking scam there is. Yeah. So the church has really got to be careful. I'm still God, Jesus, but the church has became a slush fund after all these years. And I don't fucking agree with it one bit.
I would tell you this, Lil Tay. I said, if the church is doing that, then they don't worship Jesus Christ.
Right.
They don't follow Jesus Christ. They don't worship Jesus Christ. They have nothing to do with him. They're just using his name. They're speaking his name on their lips, but there's nothing behind it.
And they're getting tax-free status too.
Yeah, exactly.
Even Wounded Warrior back in the day, It's been years ago. They got fucking busted on something.
Dude, I remember when Maria did that stuff. I was talking to Maria back then, and she did the Wounded Warrior thing, and then a whole fucking scandal blew up.
Yeah.
I think it was like 2015, 14, or 16.
Yeah.
I want to say it was around that time frame, right?
It was about 10 years ago.
Yeah, 2014, 15, or 16.
And that's why a lot of people stopped giving to Wounded Warrior because of that shit right there.
Yeah, I did not give another cent after I found out about that because
I didn't either.
want to help the people that actually did something for the country, sacrificed their bodies and their lives for it, and I want to give them something back because they really paid the ultimate price for it.
But it seems like now the Wounded Warriors got their shit together now where they ain't gonna be in trouble now.
Well, I hope so. I fucking hope so.
So I remember that whole scandal and everything, and I actually did some research before I decided to volunteer for Wounded Warrior. So they've got their shit together now. I was looking at like Tunnels to Towers. That's one that's actually really good.
Yes.
Wounded Warrior is really good. So there's some good ones out there, but yeah, you got to be careful because like you get these big companies that ask you to donate at the register, right?
Yep.
That's not actually for that actual NGO, right?
Yep.
So it's kind of weird. It's like a third party. So they raise the money for these NGOs, but they don't give them all the money. So if you really want to donate to these NGOs to see that the ones that actually use all the money, donate it directly to that NGO. So like Tunnel to Towers and stuff like that, you got to send the money directly to them because if there's a middleman, you don't know if that money is all going to them.
Well, see, like Walmart, right? When they ask you to check out, right? Or even when you do groceries online, right?
Yep.
If you want to donate. Well, Walmart's already gave to that fucking charity. They're just trying to get money back, so they're trying
to recoup it. Yeah.
Yeah. Even though it's a tax-free benefit for them.
And that's the thing. You don't know what percentage they're actually giving to them. So they're going to actually make money on that deal. It's like it's just like here's classic. Okay, every time you go through fucking Taco Bell, right? They always ask if you want to round up for education for their employees, right? Them motherfuckers can't even count 3 goddamn tacos in my bag. I order 3, I get 2, so they can't even get into college.
That's why they need the college fund money.
They can't get into college. They can't pass the fucking test.
Well, and fucking college is easier to get into than fucking the military is.
I'm not gonna fucking give them any money for that shit. They can't get my goddamn order right even. Fuck that.
Same way with McDonald's, Hardee's, Sonic, KFC, all of those motherfuckers.
Man, I still can't even get a job in them motherfuckers.
Panda Express. Get a job at Panda Express. They pay fucking great. Right there.
I got offered project manager spots for the fucking boat, so
yes, nice.
I'm gonna look. I may email them tomorrow and see what they got. I hate dealing with fucking government bids though, man. I hate that fucking system.
Why don't you create your own corporation?
Are you serious?
Yeah, dude.
There's no way to bid against these guys.
Yep.
Dude, you can bid against them and do a better
Man,
thing.
I worked ship soup for 3 fucking years during COVID, and it's one of the most crookedest fucking things you do when you're in the shipyard.
Well,
the guys would fuck shit up, and they would have to bid more money to fix their fuck ups. So no, and it's asking for every class of ship. So if I can't pick up DDG, then I'm not doing it.
Just start dealing fucking R's like fucking war dogs.
Yeah, and fucking Lord of War and shit. Let me repackage some Chinese ammo from Ukraine to go over. Ukraine, dude. Ukraine, like we talked about before, keeps coming up.
Yep. Hey, here's the idea for another shirt, too. The Huns from the North on the back.
That would be fucking great.
Yeah, the Pfeiffer's podcast and the Huns from the North on the back. Yeah.
Nope. Yeah. Two separate ones.
Okay.
Having all on the back with ship's crest, right? On the front only. And then Pfeiffer's podcast on the back of one, then Huns from the North. It'd be like we're sailing, or we have to draw this one up. Like we're sailing coming from Everett, Washington down the West Coast, right? Going to San Diego.
That's when you put like caricatures on the boat that are like Mongols and shit, like the Huns fucking carrying wrenches and shit instead of like swords.
I want it to look like the South Park cartoon, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But we gotta find somebody that can draw.
You goddamn Mongolian stealing my shitty
Shitty walk. Fucking Mongolians.
Shitty wall, you goddamn Mongolians.
Yep.
Oh, dude,
I mean,
That was good. That was great in the game.
Dude.
Stick of Truth, man.
Dude, that episode was so fucking funny.
So now we got 2 ideas for shirts for us.
You know what?
And we still got to
gonna-
finish up coins.
We're gonna do it,
Yep.
and if we can't use grunt style, that's fine. But you know what? Someday, when we grow bigger, because people fucking get sense in their fucking heads.
If that happens.
When they get sense in their fucking heads, they'll be like, "I want a Pfeiffer shirt." I'm like, "Okay, well, buy one." You know, we're happy to give you one. Just buy one, and then follow us and listen to us and comment and change your fucking mindset to a good mindset where everybody is at peace with each other instead of fucking stupid fucking war.
Because we can come up with shit all the time, like Thailand, right? Area. Kind of go $10, sucky.
Here's what I don't think the fucking general public understands. If you want to fight a war with war fighters, you're not going to win that war.
Here's the one that I've ordered from. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Rocky.
No, go for it. That sounds. Oh, look at that shit. That's a DDG, right? Or CG.
That's a cruiser.
Looks like a CG because of that big fucking thing right there.
Yeah, it's a cruiser.
The other one's a DDG. That's a carrier.
But here's where I've ordered stuff from. They have pre-made shit you can see here. So I mean, like, this one's for Gilly if he made Chief.
Yeah, it would have been.
Fucking Popeye, motherfucker.
I almost think I gotta say this. I think that Gilly would have made Chief before all of us.
No, I would not forget. No,
yeah.
No, not after getting busted. No, hell no.
Well, no.
If you had not gotten busted down, I think you would have made Chief before all of us.
No, I think he would have, dude, because it took me forever for not being busted down.
I don't think I would have. I think it would take me just as long, right?
Because I never went to Captain's Mass except for my guys when I had to go to Captain's Mass with them. I went to DRB a shitload of times.
I think I probably would have made first class right at the same time Rocky did, right? So I would have been in that same boat.
Yeah.
And same with you. I might have made it a couple cycles, maybe before you, little Tate, or cycle two.
Oh, yeah. Well, you definitely would have because I changed commands and shifted in between there, and I kept getting re-fucking set.
And everybody got fucked up. All your shit got fucked up like mine did when I was transferred, all that shit.
Yeah, because when I went to EWTG Pack leaving the Bulkley, I restarted as a early sailor, like, the new guy fucking eval. So my shit was 3-0. When I sat down with the captain, he fucking said that you're a new guy eval. Don't care what you've done. You're getting a 3-0. So you know what I mean? Like it kept fucking resetting.
See, I think my first eval with Laboon, I got there. It was like 3.8 or 3.9, almost a 4.0.
Yeah.
When I got there. At least they didn't hold that against new people coming up.
Yeah. Because I got capped on the Bulkley right towards the end. So you know what I mean? Like everything started to reset. Like I couldn't get on the Bulkley because at one of the cycles was literally one guy, one GSM2 made first class. That's when they capped me because one fucking GSM out of the fleet.
Yeah. And that's why a lot of GSMs cross-rated too. To make first class.
And if I had to do it over and would have known that GSM and AD would have closed up at the same rank, E5, I would have went AD and became a fucking part of the Hilo crew. Honestly, at that time.
Yeah.
I got a story about that. I did not get my first Navy Marine Corps Achievement Medal till 2008.
You suck at life.
Yeah, I know. But I got it because I did National Night Out.
Oh, okay.
I did National Night Out as a first class, and they still gave me a fucking P.
See, I never got one of those.
I got watch commander qualified in 30 days. I went from patrolman, dispatcher to watch commander, which is like the guy that's in charge of everybody when it comes to police work, right?
Yep.
I call the SECO, the ASECO, and the CO and the XO when something bad happens. Hey, this is what happened. This is what we're doing. This is the desk journal entry. Are you okay with it, right? They're like, yeah, you're good, MA1. Because I was an MA1 at the time. So I did that, right? And then they had me do that crap. I still got a P. The next year, I got CDO qualified. I got a fucking MP. The next year after that, I got an EP because I actually had a SECO that was worth anything.
Yep.
The SECO, the security officer, right? So my department head was the security officer. The guy knew me from the past. So he gave me a chance, right? I was a little bit overweight at the time. And I got an EP. I got the number 2 EP. So I went to Bahrain the next year. I go there. They already fucking know who I am. They're like, hey, do you know about this, 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 and this? I'm like, yeah, I want to go to Harvard. They stuck me in anti-terrorism force protection. I'm the guy that wrote the base. I wrote the plan to protect the base and all the ships that are in port at the time. So you got an E6 that's in charge of everybody. And they still thought that I was not worthy of being the guy that was the number 1 dude.
Yep.
So my ATO, because I was a first class, wrote me an EP that was going out. That's what made me a chief in 2014. So I go to the next base. I'm the anti-terrorism officer. I'm the fucking training chief. I'm the training LPO. I make chief. I become the training chief. I said, put me in operations. Give me everybody. They didn't do that. They made me the training guy. So everybody was under my anti-terrorism plan that I wrote with my fucking assistant ATO, which was a civilian, which was a good dude that I knew from 10 years before because he was with me in Seal Beach as a second class that last time. And they still gave the EP to a guy that was in charge of people, but never wrote the fucking plan.
Yep.
Then I go to DC and I'm doing the same fucking thing. Then I go to the fucking Lincoln, I'm doing the same goddamn motherfucking thing.
Yep.
Because I don't kiss nobody's fucking ass, I get fucked over for it. That's what's wrong with the fucking Navy. Fuck you.
We'll
It's sucking up to you. You need to hear the fucking truth, you goddamn fucking dumb fucking idiot officers and fucking chiefs. And I'm a chief myself, so fuck you.
See, I never got a NAM. Never did. But I got letters of commendation from the fucking admiral. That is worth more than a fucking NAM becomes test of.
The thing that drove me crazy, bro, was you had to be politically correct.
Yeah.
Nothing was done by your merit.
Yep.
Whether you did a good job or not, they cared about what you said.
Yep.
And that's what made me so fucking furious all the time. I probably have anger management issues now to this day because of that. Because I cannot like logically understand like, okay, I told you guys to do this thing, but you didn't like what I said because it hurt your feelings because you're a piece of shit. But what I told you to do made you successful and look good for all the fucking admirals and the fucking Secretary of Defense and everybody fucking else. But you couldn't give me a win because you didn't like what I said. Fuck you.
But that's always been the military, whether it's Navy, Army, that's been all of them.
And you know that and sometimes I'm bitter about it. Sometimes I'm very bitter about it because my wife knows, like, dude, you should have been a Master Chief. Yeah, I should have been Master Chief fucking Alderete. And that would have been my name. Yep. Master Chief fucking Alderete. Like Bill fucking Murray. Master Chief Rocky fucking Alderete, right? Yep. That's would have been my name. And you know what? I guarantee you, if I was the fucking Master Chief, we wouldn't have the problems we have right now.
Yep.
Because I would have told them There's no acceptance. Look, everyone's going to make problems. Everyone's
Yep.
going to screw up, but you have to take accountability and you have to do better. You have to do your best. You have to take accountability and not make the same mistake twice.
You remember back in the day, though?
Mhm.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but if you got so many early promotes, right, before you had time and rank, right, at your rank, you could still take the test early, right, back there. If you got so many early promotes, right? Does Navy still do that?
You know what? I'll tell you this. My wife, she was an MA with me.
Yep.
That's how we met each other, right? Because we're MAs in Seal Beach. She made second class
Yep.
in a year and a half or 2 years. I made second class in 2.5 years.
Yeah.
But here's the key point. She made second class because I made her study with me.
Yeah, because me and you put on third class at the same time, same test cycle. Me and you did.
1998 December.
Yeah, I went GS, you went DC on it. But I knew that early promote counted for a lot of shit too. You know,
Yeah, because
back in the day, I didn't know if it still did like it did back then.
it means a lot. It means a lot. And I'll tell you a story, right? EP means you're performing 2 ranks above your rank.
Yep.
So if you're a fucking fireman, when you get an EP, it means you're performing as a second class. So when you're a second class and you get an EP, it means you're performing as a chief. If you're a first class and you get an EP, it means you're performing as a fucking senior chief.
Yep.
So, yeah, there is some validity to that because I had a guy who's an LDO right now that worked for me as a second class, and I could trust this guy when I'm on vacation in Bahrain. And guess what this guy now is? He's like a lieutenant in the Navy. A lot of the guys that work for me and the girls that work for me, they're all chiefs, senior chiefs, master chiefs, and LDO officers and security officers. And you know what? I'm proud of them. I'm proud of them because somewhere along the line, I did something right and made them better than me.
Well, that's why I'm proud of Little Tate for making chief.
And for me to say that these guys did better than me because they were better than me, it takes a lot of swallowing my pride to admit that, right? Because I always want to think I'm the best, but I'm really not. I did a good job and I taught people, and then they took what I taught them and they applied it to their own worldly knowledge and wisdom, and they did even better than me. So I'm happy for them.
Yeah, that's why I'm proud of Little Tate for making chief.
Yeah, dude. Fuck yeah.
Because I remember him as a fucking fireman apprentice or E1.
Dude, he's the only fireman that I know that was an ETT.
Yeah.
What are you talking about, man? I was EAL running fucking EAL boards for officers and everybody else qualified.
Well, I'm saying,
captain
on the
fly. When he came in. No, when he came in,
like,
E1 or E2.
But like when I knew you back then, bro, you were ETT and I was a DC2, and you were evaluating me on drills in the engine room because they didn't have fucking smart GSMs to do what I did.
Well, and that was, thank you for the compliments. And the one achievement that I had
It's the truth, dude. It's the truth.
Was calling out Commander Olson in one of the briefs because he taught us on the main space fire doctrine to do it a specific way, and then he hit us on a portion of it, and I was like, "This is bullshit. You taught us this way, and that's the way that we train, and you hit us on that." And I actually got kicked out of the meeting because I called out a commander as a fucking fireman, and they didn't like it when they knew I was fucking right. So that's when I actually learned that everybody puts their pants on the same way. I don't give a fuck what rank you are.
And I was sitting there laughing or smiling during that because I was in that meeting because I was on ETT too. I was like, "Oh shit, here we go."
I had my moment like that, right?
I'm like, damn.
I had my moment like that. I had my moment like that in 2018 or 2017 because by that time I was an MA1 or an MAC, and I was on shore commands, right? Because MAs are mainly on shore. They're defending bases and all that other gray shit, right? Well, the guy that wrote the OpNav instruction that's all about security said all this crap, and I said, so you expect me to have a Harvard defense for Washington Navy Yard when we don't have a Harvard Defense Department? He's like, well, yeah. I said, how the fuck does that fucking make sense? And I said that in front of the captain, the XO, and the fucking SECO and everybody. I'm like, so you're telling me I have to do this when it doesn't apply, and you never put a caveat in the instruction saying, if it applies to you, do it. If it does not apply, don't worry about it. He's like, well, when I said you should do this, or I want do this or whatever, you know how it should, must, and shall? He said should was the same as shall. I'm like, no. There is no shall if you should. You have to make it apply to where you're fucking at. And guess what happened to that fucking dumb fuck, Commander? He got fucking in trouble for fucking fraternization with an enlisted girl in Texas.
Oh, speaking of that,
right?
Yeah.
Commander Olson got caught for BAH fraud. He said he was married to somebody. They weren't married, was picking up, combined BAH, when you're married and shit. They come to find out he was fucking committing fraud. So
nice.
Fuck all those people.
See, Thumper was an oil lab, so he didn't get much training from us down the hole, anyways, because he was an oil lab.
Yeah, but I knew all the shit down there. It's just I couldn't fucking do shit, and they wouldn't put me on any training shit because guess what? They always wanted me in the fucking lab so that way they could pass.
What the
fuck?
Because me and Little Tate loved it when I got moved from Maid 2 to Maid 1. We pissed off all the fucking other fucking third classes in there. Donald was no Tom. We pissed him off.
You know what?
Little Tate was literally fireman. And he's getting to do main fuel control swaps, all that shit with me.
In all respects, dude, Main 2 was the best engine room.
Well, until me and Little Tate was in Main 1 together, Main 2 was a shit show.
The reason I say that is because the only reason I say that is because I was in Main 2 with you, and we had fucking fun.
Yeah, back then it was
fun. We had paint fights, and we had all that other stupid shit we did, and it was the fucking classic fucking Navy.
But we turned around Main 1 though. We did.
Yeah, Main 1 was a fucking disaster before you guys went there and fucking fixed it.
And you know what? I tried to instill that on the next two boats that I was on to have competition, like good competition between the engine rooms, to have fucking pride, like take pride in your fucking engine room. Because remember the Fife, they had to paint. Remember you guys had to paint over the engine modules because there was all the Looney Tunes and shit on there.
Yeah, that Groza did.
Yeah, 2 Alpha had it all over.
But you see what I'm saying? Like we had healthy competition that drove to make the engine rooms better. And that was a big problem that I seen on the East Coast, is that people didn't want to take pride in the engine rooms and have healthy competition.
Jose said fucking nope. What did he say nope about?
Maybe the Looney Tunes?
He drew the Looney Tunes. I remember him drawing the motherfuckers. Because me and him was all washed down there. And I was like, what the fuck you doing? I said, I'm drawing these motherfuckers. I said, motherfucker, Chief Turbo gonna eat your ass for drawing on the fucking module, bitch. He goes, fuck Chief Turbo.
Dude, I love Jose, man. He was so fucking funny.
He's probably saying no, that Maid 1 was better than Maid 2. But but early on, Maid 2 was better.
No, he wrote this a half hour ago. I just looked on Facebook right now.
Oh shit. Normally it comes up because I got it up. And then, oh well, fuck it. But yeah.
I just saw it now because I didn't have it up, and I just pulled it up right now.
Yeah. Well, like Rahava trained some of us too. But damn, half the time we couldn't understand the motherfucker because he never talked English.
All he said was,
Hey, and speaking of like people, Hodges being in the oil lab, you remember Velaflor, right?
Yeah.
He made it up to a CWO like 3. I met him up at the end of the 4 Sherman, like right before he was getting ready to retire because he was doing like MGTI shit. And we got to fucking talking, man. And that you could tell how much he had changed when he, after those years, being goofy and shit. So like, I didn't even recognize him anymore. I was like trying to talk with him. He's like, yeah. Like he didn't want to talk about anything we did on the fucking Fife.
You should have asked him. Do you remember Gilly pissing on you in your rack?
No, I didn't remember that at the time. You know what I'm saying? But it was certain things. We're talking about being in the oil lab and doing this and that. And he's just like, no, not really.
I really wish you guys could have saw me as a chief, right? Imagine Fireman Alderetti as a fucking chief petty officer.
Oh, I would have gave you so much shit if I was still in and I see you as a chief, motherfucker. I would never let you down. I would roast you in front of all your fucking people.
You would have no idea how bad I would roast you back.
I don't give a fuck.
You would be roasted to a fucking ashes.
And then I'd grab some fucking paint and start painting your fucking khakis, bitch. And
guess what I would do? I would fucking tackle your ass and paint the coveralls like we did. Like
we would start wrestling. We would start wrestling like we did.
Oh yeah. I really wish that there was like a TV show where they could show like what happened between you and me when we had the fucking paint fight. Dude, that would be like comedy fucking gold, Oscar fucking winning a performance.
I got made fun of the first formation I did after making chief, and like wearing my uniform. The guys were painting the aft stacks, the superstructure.
Yep.
And I got made fun of because I'm in my khakis and I'm knife handing guys pointing at the areas that they missed, because you can see it in the sunlight, where fresh paint fucking meets fucking old paint, that already dried shit. So they're making fun of me when I get in formation because we were doing a meeting and shit. I mean, I got roasted like a motherfucker because they're like, you're still a first class. You're already fucking in your khakis. Like, where's your fucking tie? The old fucking when they had the ties with the khakis.
Yeah.
Because I'm like knife handing shit, like with the guys like right next to him, grabbing the fucking roller. Like, it's fucking up here, dude.
He was pulling a fucking bitter on their ass, didn't realize at the time.
Yeah, they fucking roast me because like everybody from the mess is up there, and I stop before I get up there. I'm like looking at the shit.
The one good thing about having, being in May 1 after being bitter got into it, right? But kind of stayed out of the injury for a little bit.
Yeah.
He let us run it instead of come down there trying to micromanage everything too.
But see, when I went down in the engine room, I never shifted my first class like attitude. You know what I mean? Like I was down there to help the guys.
Yeah.
And at some point, the guys just didn't have the knowledge, and the amount of time spent like we did working on shit. So it was like never taking it away from them, but it's like, all right, I'm going to go ahead and do this because we need to do it one shot only. You can sit and watch me and I'll teach you, but we need to fucking do it on this shot because we got to go.
And what's crazy is I was doing that as a E5 in the oil lab.
Yeah.
Because I only had firemen pretty much working for me, I had Rideout and Donnan and
Donna made third class. Donna, I know he made third class, did he?
He was a fucking push button just like Tom was.
Yeah, but remember Donnan he went to Mass.
Oh, he got busted down. That's correct.
That's because his ass got arrested in fucking Tijuana.
When we were at Boiler Water Feedwater School. Yep.
They kept his ass down there, man. Took his wallet, took his fucking hat because he was my roommate.
His shoes, too.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny?
Boiler Water Feedwater School, me, Chief Tebow, and him. And Chief Tebow had I remember this. They had a Chrysler Sebring convertible. And we were rolling around San Diego. And Donnan and I went to fucking Mexico. And his dumbass walks off with a girl. Next thing I know, I can't find him. And I'm like, it's getting late. Late as in early. It's like almost class time. I'm like, I gotta fucking go. I can't miss class 2. So I jumped on a fucking train, and San Cedro came up and went to class, and Chief Tebow's sitting there next to me. And I go, hey, Chief, I don't know where fucking Donnan is. He left me at the bar and didn't come back. He goes, what bar? And I go, we were in Tijuana. And he's like, fuck. And then, so then he stepped out of class and made some phone calls and shit. And then, 4.5 hours later, Donnan calls from the border on the on the Mexican side still, the U.S. Border Patrol wouldn't let him come across because he didn't have shit. And then fucking they got a hold of Chief Tebow, and then Chief Tebow was like, "Can you get to the barracks at 32nd Street and on the dry side?" And he's like, "I think so." So then Border Patrol arranged a ride for him or something. I don't know. And he fucking showed up, and I'm just like, motherfucker. And then it was like a big thing. I was like, shit, not good.
I forgot about when he got busted. Forgot about that.
Yeah, his dad was a pastor too. So when that shit went down, man, there was all kinds of correspondence, and oh man, it turned fucking ugly.
I don't remember any of that crap. I must have been drunk the whole time.
Well,
it was not good.
Well, when you fucking went DC, you didn't go out with us a whole lot, remember?
I did, and I guess what happened is like I had to work with other people, and
Yeah.
it never stopped me from caring about anybody that I worked for.
Oh yeah.
Because look who I'm fucking talking to right now. I'm talking to all the people that I worked in the hall with. You know what I mean? It comes back full circle. I talk to everyone now that I was in the engine rooms with before I became a fucking dumb cocksucker second class or damage controlman. That's what I used to call him. DC's dumb cocksucker.
You dirty cocksucker, you.
I said dumb cocksucker because
but you used to be dirty cocksucker too.
I used to make the most fucking heinous fucking names for ever rating. Like,
Hodges, how's your gumbo, dude? We see you eating on it.
Dude, it's so good. It is so good. It's spicy as shit, though.
Let's see the room, bitch. Let's see the room.
Oh, hang on.
Well, no, go ahead, Rocky. While he's doing his shit, you're saying making names for everybody?
Oh, dude, I was like, retard was retarded moron. RM. DS was cocksucker. DS, remember when we had DS? It was dick sucker.
Yeah.
DKs, I think we call dick killers.
Yeah, dick killers.
What did you call PC? What did you call PC? The postal clerk.
Penis cocker. Or something like penis.
There's your room.
Or like, FC was fucking cocksucker.
Looks pretty good. Yeah, for a room, yeah.
Yeah, it's
like everything had to do with something with sex because we're guys and we like sex.
What did you call the SHs and SKs?
Stupid cunt. SH was shithead.
Yeah. That was old Corey. Shithead.
Shithead first class. Shithead fucking. I'm like, you motherfuckers fill Coke machines and get NAMs? Fuck you.
What did you?
11 years to get a fucking NAM.
Well, and that pissed me off because that one little motherfucker filled up. He got a fucking NAM for filling up a goddamn fucking.
I saw that and I was like,
that? And that's when we had still before Chief. I think Tebow was over there. The chain pulled me aside. They said, "What are you mad?" I said, "That motherfucker filled up soda machines." I said, "What the fuck?"
Wasn't that SH3 Brown always fucking had his fro?
No, he was
take it out in the middle of the night, and then he was filling.
He was a second class, a little short motherfucker.
It was Brown, dude, because Brown would be the one filling it at night.
Just know. And
he had his fro out. He'd pick it out, and then he'd be out in the middle of the night, fucking filling up the machine.
Then they pulled me aside. They said, "You got a letter of commendation from the Admiral." I was pissed off until they told me how many points it was worth on the test. It was worth a hell lot more than Bam was. I was like, "Okay, I'm good. I'm good."
And you knew he was black because he'd always fill the cigarettes up with Newports. It'd be more fucking Newports in the vending machine than there was fucking regular cigarettes.
Exactly.
They were never in shit, dude. At night, you had to go to the fucking vending machine to get the cigarettes because the ship store is fucking closed. And if you were out of fucking Reds or Camels, and he would stock all fucking Newports, and then you're like, the fuck is this shit?
Yeah.
And I
gotta wait till the fucking morning.
Yeah. And I told the motherfuckers at the time we had fucking Copenhagen and plastic cans on there. That's what I chewed. I said, stock that shit to those fucking Newports, motherfucker.
back when we could actually stock the vending machine with nicotine products. You know, this is for people out there that are new to the fucking Navy and military. Our shit was in vending machines just like back in the day, where you could fucking pull a machine, the cigarette machines.
And I used to make money. Remember the cardboard cans, Copenhagen?
Yeah.
I would go to the exchange before we left, right? I would load the fuck up on that shit.
You get fucking logged of fucking shoes.
And then motherfuckers run out, especially topsiders. I charge one topsider $40 for one fucking can.
It's like prison, man. We talked about the Navy being prison when you're underway. You fucking trade and get commissary going.
Well,
Man.
we fucking wore dungarees, dude.
Well,
you wore dungarees. That was prison clothes.
Yep.
You remember fucking Blues Brothers from 1980? They wore fucking dungarees in the movie and saying Jailhouse fucking rock at the end of the movie, dude.
I bet you Rocky will remember this in Japan. It wasn't too long after we got there. My parents sent me fucking 20 pounds of deer jerky.
Deer jerky, yeah.
And I kept some for myself, and I sold a lot of it. I mean, that's how I got my beer money for a while. In between paydays, I sold it.
You're talking to somebody that when we pulled into fucking Hong Kong and anchored out, that trash barge that pulled up with the little kid on there,
yep.
I used to throw fucking brass valves over the side because brass was like fucking gold to him. He would dive into the fucking water, into the bay, try to get the fucking valves because it was like pure gold to him.
Yeah.
I used to barter with those guys on that trash barge. They bring me all kinds of shit for valves.
I wish I would have fucking when people come to me like other divisions and they want a porn rack, because I was a porn geek. You know, and I had all kinds of porn. I should have fucking said, okay, $20 rental, bitch.
Oh, that shit was funny, dude. Fucking everybody sitting down and fucking birthing with their own personal DVD players, watching porn.
Yep.
Everybody had their own shit going. Fucking
you guys
different shit going on.
Yeah.
I don't know if you were there. I don't know if you were there for Freud. Remember him,
No.
the guy that used to shake, had the glasses real bad, and like he'd be fucking palsy.
No, I wasn't there for him, but McClellan used to jerk off right there in Berlin.
Yeah,
watching the news.
Like I
remember
watching
the news.
I remember like I bought like the Playboy 50th anniversary book, right? And after I became a Christian, I threw that shit in the dumpster. But I don't know how much I spent on that, but I was like, I love naked women, but I can't do this. It's just not.
I loved how in every space you knew where all the magazines were hidden. So like if you were on watch at roving, you could go into every space and know exactly where the porn was hidden.
Yeah, I had to fucking start switching up the fucking porn underneath the main engines and main too. Because motherfuckers would find that shit. I'm like, I don't care if people looked at it, right? But the motherfuckers, the pages started sticking together. I said, don't come on the fucking pages, assholes.
I remember Smith almost catching me underneath main 2 engines one night. She was, I seen her feet at like the last minute. She's like creeping around. And I was like, oh shit, put it away. But I think she knew what was going on too.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, everybody knew, you know.
Well, hell, when you're out in the middle of the ocean, you got to get your rocks off somehow.
Yeah.
You know? Because if you don't, everybody's going to be pissed off like a motherfucker if they don't.
Oh, I mean, dude, I knew that from the get-go. Once you put women on board with men, what the fuck do you think's going to happen?
Well, at least our ship wasn't as bad as the Frank Cable. Remember, that was the love boat.
So when I was a chief on the Abraham Lincoln, my guys would catch a guy and a girl fucking in the fan rooms, right? And I would be like, okay, they got caught. Did you let him finish? Like, it's sad that I say that, but did you at least let him make it worth it? Because he's going to lose his rank, and so is she. Did they at least come to climax?
Yeah, like, did you step back out, just let it happen, and then
right. You know, let them get their rocks off. They're already fucked up, right? They're gonna get screwed over for a year or 2 years. At least let them get their rocks off.
Or they got to call their significant other.
That was the worst fucking thing in the world. You know what I did though? When I was on the ship like that, and my sailors were like trying to fucking suck start a 9mm because their wives were cheating on them or anything, I would call my wife because I actually had the satellite phone in my office, right? Because I was a chief. I didn't know that. I didn't know it at the time. I was like, wow, being a chief is really fucking awesome. It's really great. It's really cool. I was thankful for it. I'd call her and say, hey, thank you for being a great girl, a great wife to me. I told her, this is what I've got going on right now on my ship. Thank you for not doing this to me. And she's like, no problem. I love you, baby. I was like, well, thank you. You know, and I did, you know, that was the year that I started to see things like the way I see things now. 2019. 2019 opened my fucking eyes to what everyone else probably saw in 2003, 2004. You know what I mean? Right after The Matrix came out. And it's crazy when I think about it now because I'm like, fucking A, dude, everything is in your fucking face right now. And all you have to do is not accept it. And if you don't accept it as a guy, guess what? You have all the fucking power in the world to not accept that bullshit and tell them no.
Well, I think COVID had that because a lot of people got off work and got online, and they started really seeing all of these things. You know, like we've talked about before, you know, apocalypse means, you know, lifting the veil. And I think a lot of people got the veil lifted on them and in multiple areas. You know what I mean? Like,
dude, it was in the biblical world, the love, sex world, the marriage world, the dating world, the food world, the drug world, whatever world, the gym lifting world, the gym bro world, the gym girl world, every world got just fucking shattered because everybody had a voice and no one could go anywhere. So all you could do is watch people that were talking about this stuff.
Yeah.
One thing I hate about the gym bros, right? When I was going to the gym, those motherfuckers try to do supersets, right? I had one motherfucker. He had like 4 pieces of equipment with his towel on it, with towels on it. And I was getting ready to use it. I said, fuck you. I don't care. Kiss my ass. I said, you don't superset in this fucking gym, public gym. You want to superset? You go to a private gym, motherfucker. You know. But what did you call the MSs, Rocky? When you get to that one, what did you call the MSs?
The MSs?
Yeah, the cooks before they came in CSs.
Making a mess specialist. All they did was fucking make messes for me to clean up.
Yeah.
They were
I don't know. Shoepak was pretty good.
Like mess specialist. Yeah, she was a great girl. Teresa, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Teresa was a cool girl, man. Hey, Teresa, if you see us, hey, what's up, girl? We love you. Anyway,
you know, she went to the White House. She was a cook for the White House after she left the fight.
Dude, that's fucking amazing.
Yeah, she got the culinary school that everybody kind of goes to now, but the specialized for the White House itself.
She should be up there with all the famous chefs right now. Then,
who knows now where she's at?
I don't know, but dude, if you go to a school like that, you should have the prestige of that, where you're famous.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, even with all the tattoos she had too, she got the
She covered up with a chef's jacket. She didn't have anything on her.
No, nothing on the neck or not, but she had tattoos like Christmas did.
Well, you're going to be wearing the jacket, so nobody's going to see it.
Yeah.
Just
But yeah, that was. I remember hearing about that right before she left. I was like, "Holy shit, she going to the White House to cook? Nice."
Yeah.
You know, not all of them, but a lot of them could cook, right? But a lot of them shouldn't even been in that fucking break at all.
Well, you know, we had Filipinos because all we got was rice every fucking meal sometimes. Yeah, rice for breakfast and shit.
And adobo.
And
some of those Filipino fucks, they would fuck up fried chicken. I'm like, how you fuck up fried chicken?
They don't make fried chicken.
You know, or fuck up steaks. They cook them on the flat top, right? I'm like, dude, you don't cook them for that fucking long on that high heat, motherfuckers.
Well, they have to. Everything has to be well done.
Yeah, stuff. I'm like, Jesus. Some of that shit was fucking tough as hell. to fucking eat. It's like, and so the crab legs were fucking overcooked too. But we got surf and turf.
Yeah, that's always a letdown.
Yeah, but we always know we had surf and turf. We was getting some bad news.
You would think that the service, that lives its life on the ocean would be able to cook fucking seafood.
Exactly.
Just
the best
saying.
The best meal you can get from the fucking salad bar.
Yeah, especially when you're in port, man. You go to the galley. Shit.
Well, remember when it was still MS1 Esther before he made Chief, right? He got pissed at a bunch of us because we loaded up the salad bar. He's taking all the meat off the salad bar, putting them on, instead of you can't eat that much. Bullshit.
Yeah, because I would take the eggs, the hard boiled eggs, the ham, fucking cheese.
Yeah. I'd grab another plate, right? I'd have my other plate. Then I'd grab a whole other fucking tray just for fucking salad. The whole thing would be salad, fucking ham, whatever else I want on fucking bacon, onions.
I did like breakfast though. Always getting the omelets and shit and the fried eggs. I used to load up on that shit.
But I remember I can't remember, it was a Filipino trying to cook biscuits and gravy. He fucked that up.
They sucked at that. Yeah. I never got the biscuits and gravy half the time just because they were always fucking, the biscuits were like fucking hockey pucks and the gravy was fucking flavorless.
Yep.
Man, when I made Chief, dude, I was working, the mid-watch and they'd be putting everything in and biscuits and gravy would go in. It'd be like hash browns, make that garbage plate. Like all I need is 2 over easy eggs. That's all I need from you guys. And that shit would be hot and fresh and it'd be great.
Now there's one cook I liked. He was a mid-rat cook before Pirate took over. Miller. Remember him, Rocky? Oh, Cowboy Miller? Miller. He always worked the mid-rat. He always worked the mid-rats on the way.
Dude, some of the MSs are some of the coolest guys.
But he would sit there and he if you wanted something, he'd make it for you. Dude,
I lived with 3 MSs.
Huh?
Little Pirates and Richardson. I
remember Chris Turner, James Richardson, Pirates, and some other motherfuckers too. Espiat. Yep. Espiat was the fucking one that cracked me up the most. MS1 Espiat, who became CSC or MSC Espiat. Yep. And I remember when fucking Corey Jones, fucking SH3, he was like petty officer. That motherfucker was the biggest smartass on the boat. I think the only other smartass that could defeat him was probably Brandon. Those guys were fucking hilarious. I loved it, right?
But McClellan could
go, petty officer. What about this? And then Espiat could not fucking talk. But the fucking funniest one was the other chief that Espiat took over from, right? He was like, Eben, you have to do better. It looked like roach heaven in there. Because he had I can't wait till Brandon comes on here in a couple of years, and I hope he tells this story. Hopefully he's watching this and he remembers this shit because he told me this story because we were cranking all at the same time, right? And he was like, Eben, you have to do better in the scullery or something like that, right? He says, it looks like roach heaven in there. But with his Filipino accent, it's like, it looks like roach heaven in there, motherfucker, motherfucker, or something like that. I'm like, oh my God, that is fucking comedy gold.
Well, he even went to the scullery when I got put in a Chiefs mess.
Dude, they never let me go in the Chiefs mess because I was never cut out for fucking kissing people's asses or being.
I got fired by the Master Chief.
Oh, dude, they couldn't handle me because I'd play fucking heavy metal and fucking rock music or fucking bro. Like, I wonder if even remembers Brohim from fucking Pennywise. That's a good song, right? You guys all know Brohim from Pennywise, right?
Yep. That's
like one of our theme songs is being bros, especially in the military or whatever, right? Bro him. Dun 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 dun. One of my favorite songs. Anyways.
Well, I know the Chiefs best.
I'm gonna be taking off here. I'll talk to you guys next week? Sunday.
Or sometime again if Rocky decides that we're gonna do another fucking live this week.
All right. Hey, I want to try something real quick. I'm gonna do this real quick for you, right? Let me ding you off, bro.
Okay.
Because I have the ability to do it right now. I want to ding you off. We'll go Pfeiffer fucking Thumper departing, and then
Andy Boswell
and then
departing.
you get off, right? Okay.
Err.
You ready? You ready?
Err,
All
bitch.
right. All right. Pfeiffer Thumper departing. Peace out, motherfucker. Right. I thought that was kind of cool to do.
Oh,
I'm fine with it.
yeah.
In a way, and in a way, it's honoring everybody, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with trying it. See how it goes.
It's like when you get rung off when you're leaving the ship, you know, like when you're actually leaving, transferring.
Dude, there's a video that one of my first classes, she made chief last year. She recorded my whole I asked when I retired in 2021 because of COVID and everything, and we're wearing face masks. I was like, he's like, hey, is there anything I can do for you before you leave? And I'm like, yeah. Can you guys just read The Watch for me? You know the poem The Watch, right?
Oh yeah.
I'm like, dude, The Watch says everything that I would ever want to say about anything in the Navy, right? For 24 years, this sailor stood the watch. So they did it for me. They dinged me off because I remember on the USS Fife when they would ding off a fucking chief petty officer, they'd go ding, 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 chief petty officer retiring, ding. They did that for me.
You got that video?
She recorded it for me. It was like a 15 to 16 minute video on Facebook Live. I guess she had a lot of followers. I treated this girl as if she was my daughter. She was a really great. Like,
You got that video?
I don't have it. I have it saved on my page, but there's no way I can put it on YouTube. I'm trying to figure out how I can put that on YouTube, and I'll put it on my personal page, and then I'll put it on the Pfeiffer's page, just so that we can see, like, hey, we love this stuff. We want to honor
Okay.
everyone that served. We want to honor everyone that passed on or whatever. We still love you guys.
I'll
You
say
know
if
what I
you
mean?
got it too, you can post it on our pages, right? But
If I
also, but also show the last part of it where it digs you off, a little short clip on here.
Yeah, if I can figure out how to do it, bro, I'll do it. Because in my opinion, I'm like, the Navy's the only one that does retirement ceremonies. The Army, the Marine Corps, the Air Force, they don't do it. It's only a Navy tradition, right? So I learned that in chief season. I didn't know that until I became a chief. And I was like, that's the fucking coolest thing I ever knew because they actually honored you for doing this time on a fucking ship or in the military, right? I think everybody that does time in the Army, the Air Force, the Marine Corps, the Space Force, the Coast Guard, or whatever, right? They should all be respected and thanked for the time that they served, especially when they did it honorably and they did it honestly and they could look at their face in the mirror and have respect because they didn't fucking sell anyone out or fuck anyone over to get ahead. That's the key word. You did not fuck other people over to get to the rank you made.
Well, a lot of people did that. They
Yeah,
fucked a
I
lot of
didn't.
people.
I never did that because I knew how hard it was. But
I saw that on the fucking East Coast.
yeah, I know. And you know what?
Not so much on the West Coast, the East Coast. Fuck, that was everywhere, man.
Yeah, I know. So when that video was done, dude, it was so awesome. I was like, man, this is the greatest thing. My mom, my dad, my sister, my brother, Heidi was watching it, my wife. I don't think my kids watched it or anything like that, but all these other people that knew me throughout the Navy watched it. And they're like, we love you, Rock, and all that stuff, right? Because my nickname was Rock at the time or whatever. Rocky, Rock, whatever, like, yo, Adrian. And so
Hey, Adrian.
yo, 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 yo. And so it was really cool because it was like I didn't have to pay money for that. I asked the Master Chief and he was a really fucking stand-up guy. And he did it for me. And the captain did it, the XO did it, they dinged me off the ship. They were like, ding, 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 Chief Petty Officer retiring or departing, ding. And when I walked off the brow for the last fucking time on February 19th, 2021, that was it. That was the last day I ever wore a Navy uniform.
I mean, if I would have retired, from the Navy, I wouldn't want no ceremony. Give me my shit. Let me get the fuck out of here.
That's what I did when I left fucking Marmac, dude. I went under the fucking radar. I got my fucking flag flown on the 4th of July, and I got my retirement flag, and I was fucking gone, dude.
You know
I
what
was
makes
so
me
tired
mad?
of the Navy at that time.
What makes me so mad, dude, is I had a flag flown on May 28th, 2020. So the year before I retired, May 28th was the day I went in the Navy. So May 28th, 1997 to May 28th, 2020, that's 23 years.
Yep.
I lost the flag.
Oh shit.
They lost my flag. I requested a letter from Donald Trump, Joe Biden, President Bush, President Clinton, and President Obama, even though I didn't like any of those presidents, but I liked Trump because he didn't kiss no one's ass. But I wanted all that stuff. I never got any of that stuff.
Oh shit.
Never.
But at least you got ragged off like you wanted when you retired.
You know what I got? I got my DD 214.
So,
So, in the big scheme of things, I don't have, like, how you have the flag in your house in that thing in its house.
Yep.
I have something like that, but it's been lost.
yeah, see, I sent mine home. Mine probably would have got lost too, but I sent it home. Or actually, I took it with me, brought it back home when I went to sea school. Mom and Dad kept it for me, put it in the box for me. Because that's the flag that was flown on board the 5 that day in the Persian Gulf when I re-enlisted.
Yeah, I did all that stuff like the year before. In 2020, I prepared for retirement, right? And everything that I prepared for, I never got when I left. So I was like, you know what? I'll cut my losses. I'm okay. I'm still a little mad about it. That's why I'm talking about it right now, right? Because it's kind of fucked up. And I never got that stuff. But you know what I got? I got my DD 214. I got my Navy Commendation Medal, which I think I should have got something better than that. But,
Well, you did. For the plane crash, you get something that most Navy guys never get, the Coast Guard fucking medal and ribbon.
I know. But, you really don't consider that stuff when you're in the Navy.
No, you don't.
You don't know the importance of it or how impactful that is.
See, I gotta get all my medals again. I got my ribbons, I can't find my medals.
Dude, if I go to a next, I'll get you everything. I can
order that
I have
shit.
to get some new fucking piss cup anchors.
Well, see, I can still order all
that
that.
You wear on the Eisenhowers. I need to get some anchors that you wear on the Eisenhowers and on your piss cup.
No, I can order all that online.
I gotta get like 6 of them. I gotta get 6 of them.
And I go to Whiteman too, because Whiteman has medals and all that shit too. So I called down there, see if they had, the Navy was too. They said, yeah, we got them. That's okay.
So, I'm just thankful I got to retire in one piece with my sanity for most part.
Yeah. And all your digits.
Yeah, dude. After the people I saw, dude, did I tell you the story when I was in Bahrain and I had to take a kid to Germany? This is a fucked up story. I remember the story. I'll just refresh the memory there. Okay. So I'm a first class petty officer. I'm MA1. We're in Bahrain. I'm an AT. We're having a command PT and it's on like AstroTurf. And someone walks up to my chief and he's talking crazy, like suicidal and everything. And they get me, MA1 Alderete, another guy named MA1 Aguinaldo. Good guy, man. Good dude. He was probably like 45, 50 years old. The guy was a great guy, but he was done. Like you could just tell by his look, he was done, right? I'm done with the Navy. I'm done struggling. I'm done trying so hard to make chief petty officer. Yep. They're not going to choose me, right? He just was like, fuck it. I'm just like I was. And because I had a credit card and he did, We had to escort him to Germany. We escort him to Germany, and we land in Landstuhl. I think it's Landstuhl or Ramstein.
Ramstein is the Air
Ram-
Force Base.
I think it's Ramstein, and we put him in the thing, and we're there for a week. So me and Aguinaldo, we go to all these places where I get to try real German beer and real fucking bratwurst fucking hot dog things, right? I'm like, dude, German food is so good and the beer's so good. And they
Oh,
let
yeah.
us go on this fucking free tour when we got to go to a concentration camp. If you ever understand what a concentration camp is, it's the fucking most creepiest thing you'll ever see in the world. It is so scary and creepy, it just makes your spine tingle.
What was that? Auschwitz?
I don't know, dude. It was one of those things, and then they took us on a tour also, and I got to see where Constantine was crowned the king of Rome in 300 AD.
Nice.
Whenever Constantine was crowned the king of Rome and the king of the world at that point, right? The king of the known world, because the West was the old world, and everyone moved from the West back to the East and then back to the West, and they thought it was the new world. I'm I'm going with that fucking narrative right now because historians are fucking stupid fucks. Anyways, go fuck yourself, historians. Tell the truth. Anyways, um, I got to see where Constantine's Basilica was, and it was amazing. It was so cool to see history come alive, right? So after that, they send us back, and I find out later this kid, his wife was cheating on him. They had an 18-month-old baby. He was suicidal because his wife was cheating on him after they had a year and a half old baby. Then I find out later the baby got killed in a landslide. The mom survived, and he had to go back home and deal with that crap. That's some fucked up fucking shit right there. And that was in 2012, dude.
Yeah.
And the whole reason they caught this kid was because he was sniffing ether from fucking hand sanitizer. And you know where he got the idea from?
TikTok.
It's the movie with fucking Johnny Depp and Benicio del Toro when they go to Vegas and they fucking have like reptile tails.
Oh, that's
Las Vegas, right?
It's
Fear and
yeah,
Loathing
Fear
in
and
Las
Loathing,
Vegas.
Loathing in Las Vegas. They
Yeah.
actually had real ether though.
Yeah. And so like these dude, this guy was out of his fucking mind and he was talking crazy. I'm like, hey man, look, if you act stupid, I'm gonna fuck you up. He's like, okay, MA1. Because he was like an MASN or MA3, right? Because they were all MAs that were guarding the base in Bahrain in 2012. And this was after the girl and the guy and the girl. The guy shot both girls and shot himself in the head because of a weird lesbian fucking gay love triangle back in 2007. I actually met the security officer that got fired because of that. She had a fucking beard. It was really weird. and it was weird to see that because like I don't think I've told anyone this story. It's like, man, you see some really, really fucked up things in the military. I know you guys have. It's almost depressing, which I don't want to do right now. But you know, it's crazy because like, yeah, I saved the guy and I helped him out, but I don't know if I really helped him out because all the other circumstances he had to deal with afterwards still happened. You know, and luckily the Chiefs cared enough about this kid to send him somewhere to get fucking help. But it helped him a little bit, but then he lost his baby.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but I'm a dad. Losing a kid is probably the worst thing you can ever do. Losing your baby, losing your offspring. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yes,
no,
sir.
it's been said many times like bearing your own children, that have, you've outlived them is like a struggle. You won't unless you go through it, you won't understand.
I mean, I had a situation. I'll tell you guys about this online. I almost lost one of my kids earlier this year in January, December timeframe. But guess what? He fucking called me and he didn't do it and he's still alive today and I'm thankful for it.
Yep.
He called me. He didn't call his mom, he called me.
Yep.
And so I guess what I'm saying is, guys, whoever's watching us, whether it's like 10 people, one person, or 2 million, if you're feeling like you want to hurt yourself, please contact somebody to get help so you don't do a permanent solution to a temporary problem. Your life
Yeah.
is worth your life is worth more than that. It may not be great right now, but it will get better with time.
I've always believed as you can talk to 100 people, as long as you get through to one, then you've done what you've needed to do.
Yep.
It takes one person
I mean, because
to latch on.
I've had friends that have off themselves in the Navy. You know, like I had a friend, he killed himself right after Chris Kyle killed himself. It made fucking national news. And I had to talk to one of my other friends that was with me in Seal Beach because we were all friends in 2003 to 2004, 2005. From 2002 to 2005, when I was in Seal Beach, these were my friends.
Yep.
And then to find out, you know, a little bit later, he killed himself. You know how devastating that is? It's fucking terrible, dude. And I guess I'm harping on it because it is May, and guess what May is? Guess what happens in May on the 4th week of May? The 4th weekend of May is what? What? Memorial Day.
Yep.
So guess what? I'm gonna wear the 4-toast salute when we do the podcast. I'm wearing the 4-toast salute and I'm gonna read it to people, and we're all gonna have a shot or a beer, and we're gonna drink to all our fallen friends.
Yep.
Whether we knew them or not, because I want to honor those people.
It doesn't matter if you know them, as long as they serve, then you know them because they're still part of an elite group that most of the world will never know.
Yeah, and you know what? I want to honor those people. I want to honor my brothers and sisters in arms in that way.
Yep.
Because I don't care what country's navy you're part of, you're a very minute part of it that sail.
Yep.
Not a lot of people can fucking sail and sail for as long as we have. I know I added up the months that I've spent over the years, 15 years on sea duty, and about 10 years of that is sailing. So think about living on the ocean for 10 fucking years out of your life.
That's a long time, bro.
You can't even go without cell service for fucking 20 minutes.
Well, and you get used to those fucking little bitty racks. As you've been all that long, you know it's gonna be hard to get used to a big bed again.
That's why I still sleep in a fucking day bed by myself at most of the time, because I can't stand sleeping next to somebody, and it's not because I don't love my wife. It's just I can't fucking stand sleeping next to somebody. I'm more comfortable in a little fucking twin size bed because of all the sailing that I've gotten used to. That everybody's different, so don't feel bad about it, because I sure the fuck don't feel bad about it.
Exactly.
Because you tailor everything to yourself. Everything that your interest is while you're gone is what you become. Books that I've got in my bookshelf, video games that we played, all of that lifestyle fucking changes you quite a bit.
Oh yeah.
And for those people that are trying to make people understand, you're never going to make them understand unless they sail.
Yep.
So you just got to take it your own way.
Exactly.
I've tried sleeping, and it's caused a lot of problems, but when it comes to my mental health, I'm fucking taking care of myself too.
Oh, getting on Spotify looks pretty fucking easy.
Okay.
Don't it? It's just like category.
I mean, I know I've seen like one that chicks talking about pussies. Yep. There's a chick that it came up on my feed one day by accident. I clicked on it to see what she was saying, and she talking about vaginas.
Yep.
Everything fucking associated with fucking vaginas.
Yep.
How to keep it wet, how to keep it clean, how to keep it smelling fresh.
Yeah.
All that shit.
So, I mean, we could just do audio or video too. We can do both.
speaking of fucking Spotify, did you see that they pulled the entire Toxicity album from System of a Down?
What?
Really?
Yeah, because of the song Chop Suey, where it talks
I-
about the righteous religious, death
You know what? You know
by
what?
self-righteous suicide.
I really want to tell you guys what that song's about. It's not about the World Trade Center. It's not about terrorism. What do they cry about in there? That angels deserve to die. Who are the angels that deserve to die?
Nephilim,
No,
fallen angels.
the fathers of the Nephilim that rebelled against the Most High God.
Yeah, the fallens.
Yeah, the fallen ones like Satan, Azazel, fucking, they're all named in the fucking Book of Enoch, right? If the Book of Enoch is actually historically accurate, but not spiritually accurate, it still tells you the names of these motherfuckers that fucked all these women. And imagine what the women look. Imagine how pretty and beautiful the women were back after creation, directly from Eve.
Well, and you got to remember that the entire band of System of a Down is Armenian.
Yes.
So they went through the Armenian genocides and stuff.
There's a song on their first album and about that.
Yes.
Forget what it's called. I love System.
I know. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I love those guys. I did not like them back in the 90s. But after I left CLB, I left the Fife and I started listening to them and I was like, these guys are really good.
I started listening to them right before I joined, with a couple of friends of mine. They were an offshoot band. Nobody knew who the fuck they were. And Amy was always about finding underground like metal and stuff. And she found them. And at first I was like, I don't really like this style. And then we started listening to it a little bit more. And then we went and seen them at Ozfest 99. And they put on a fucking great show. And I'd followed them for the longest time until they broke up with Serge and all that. So, and that album, fucking Toxicity, is probably one of their greatest albums because there's BYOB, which is Bring Your Own Bomb, and
that's from Mesmerize or Hypnotize.
No, it was from Toxicity. Or maybe you're right. Maybe it was Mesmerize.
But actually, my favorite album was still this album, dude. Chicken Stew.
Yeah.
My favorite song off of that album was Roulette. And what the crazy thing is when I got Roulette, when I listened to that song, I had Andrew in the Andrew was like 3.5 years old or 4, right? So I was his father figure because his real dad tried to kill him. Andrew suffered from shaken baby syndrome. That's what my wife was dealing with when I met her. But she was such a great girl that there's no way I could pass up a girl that was that good because she was really a great woman and not like today. Not like if it was today's circumstances, I would have walked away. Fuck that, right? But because this girl was a girl that loved me and she was in love with me and all that stuff, it worked out, right? That's why we're married 20 years later. But he would sing, I don't know how I feel, which is the song. It's a really, that song, right? Roulette.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome song. The whole album is great. And even the IEAEO, it's fucking from Alice in Wonderland, dude. It's what the worm is fucking smoking. Who's the fucking worm that's smoking the smoke in fucking Alice in Wonderland? He's IEAO, and that's the same shit that fucking, what's his name? Aleister Crowley said. There's a connection between the occult and that shit, if you pay attention. But Roulette was just like this really good song, and my stepson, who's now my kid, he calls me his dad. Like, I'm his dad for real. And he would sing that song, and I was like, man, this kid has good taste in music. I'm proud of him for that.
And you sorry, you were right. BYOB was on Mesmerize. I was wrong.
You know what BYOB is?
Yeah, Bring Your Own Bomb, man.
Bring your own beer. But you know what it's referring to? War Pigs from Black Sabbath.
Yeah, 100%, because the lyrics in there talk about it.
Why do we always?
And it's been talked about because that's what came up recently for Ukraine. It's like, no, Lindsey Graham, put your ass on the fucking front line and your kids on the front line and go fucking fight. Because all of us have been fighting for 24 years, Gilly 8 years, everybody else that's, been part of the military or private contractors like Thumper.
Yep.
Go put your ass on that fucking line. You can't. It's easy for you to say, hey, you're gonna go to the front line of Ukraine or these wars, and it's like, no, fuck you. You go.
Yep.
So
exactly. Well,
which episode will start with on Spotify? The Pfeiffer's Royal Rumble Part 1? Rumble 1?
Start with 1. Just do all of them. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we go on Apple too?
Fuck, goddamn, give me time to look at it.
Yeah, Rocky, you start fucking doing it. Upload to YouTube, upload to fucking Facebook, upload to fucking Spotify, upload. I'm still working on cutting shit now on DaVinci.
No,
I got this week off. I can actually concentrate on it.
As soon as I get a new computer, boys, with a good, I'm gonna get a good desktop and everything. As soon as I do that, I'll take care of that stuff for you.
Fucking Rocky's trying to turn into Joe Rogan in like a few months.
Dude, I guarantee you, if people actually listen to us and they had fucking brains about them, they'd actually listen to us and be like, these motherfuckers.
We'd probably be under cancel culture within the first couple episodes.
They'd suck our dicks too, because they would be like, these guys are not canceled. They're actually smart.
Because our fierce few episodes were, you ranting nonstop about women. So
women's society and how fucking stupid it is. And you know what? Here's what I'll rant about right now. If you keep on disrespecting men and treating them like shit, don't expect them to protect you later.
Oh yeah, that's been talked about for a while now.
No, but the president needs to know this.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to take it serious. Because if all the guys that are military age leave the country and expatriate because there's no women to marry or have wives or have children with, they're going to leave.
What are you talking about? They've already been leaving.
Your economy collapses. Your military is destroyed. You have no more America after that. Congratulations, women. You destroyed your own country.
Yeah, you need to take a page out of fucking what's happening in China right fucking now.
Dude.
With the tariffs that went down, we just completely destroyed them from the interior like they've been doing to us over the years.
Yeah, what's crazy is like there's videos of like they have like these what is it, where like all these women try to meet single guys and like it's 1,000 women and like 0 guys show up.
Yeah, it's what we've talked about before. Like men, everybody's kind of self-serving, they do what they do. So wow, man, my professor already graded my shit.
How'd you do? You do okay?
Yeah, I got 100 on it.
Good job.
While I'm sitting here halfway through it talking to you guys. Yep. Shit. That's what you want to call multitasking. People can really do multitasking, but you got to
Chief Petty Officer right there, motherfuckers.
Yeah, I know,
Chief
right?
Petty Officer.
We want the audio or just video?
Let's just do audio, dude. Audio. I know that the audio in the beginning is probably going to be hinky, and it still kind of is because none of us are running any software or any audio mixer shit. So that's something we'll look at. You
can do audio and video on Spotify.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We'll do the video too if you can.
I can only do one other.
Well, just whatever you want to do, bro. Whatever you think is best.
I mean, yeah, it's up to you, man. We'd put it on a vote. I mean, audio, like you said, most people want to just listen. They don't, and it'll take less room to upload it. But that's whatever you want to do. I don't think anybody wants to see our ugly fucking mugs, but
who knows? There's going to be some women out there that think we're handsome.
Let's try the audio first
because they're smart. I'm just playing.
I don't even remember what the first episode was about, so I'm gonna put free for all. Fuck it. Description.
I don't know. Most of that was testing.
Like free for all. Yeah. Like the only one that we had organized was when the guy that blew himself up in the fucking Cybertruck.
Yeah, the conspiracy. Well, we did cryptids pretty good and a lot of ancient mystery stuff. So.
Oh, dude, we need to go back to that eventually.
Oh yeah, 100%. You know, it's just we have more content telling stories in our military careers than I think we can find on cryptids itself.
Yeah, that's true.
And it does have explicit content. Help all fans of always avoid unwanted explicit. Yes, it's got explicit content.
Yes, we cuss. We speak the truth as we see it.
I mean, you know, cursing like a sailor that people use is, you know, didn't come from no reason.
You know what we should have called it? The Pfeiffer's DD991 podcast, cursing like a fucking sailor.
I try to put it in my descriptions on YouTube. Salty sailor talk is what I put in there.
Dude, I got in the mail today. I got salty from Grunt Style today.
Especially with us being, you know, like 24 years on, like, I've pissed more salt than you sailed, motherfucker. You remember hearing that shit? Like,
but I do have to get off soon, boys.
That's fun.
It's been great talking to you guys. Thank you for doing this. I knew
Absolutely.
you were busy, and I knew that everyone was like, "Oh, we didn't plan this," but I'm thankful.
Yeah, but most of us can get down because we sailors like, oh, we didn't plan it, but we'll fucking make it work.
Nope.
We're probably the best out of anybody from every branch. I don't give a fuck you like it or not. The Navy does it. It's been reported about it a million fucking times. You don't get your shit underway. The Army has a hard time fucking fixing tanks and Humvees. Air Force don't fix shit because it never runs.
Yeah.
They don't use it. So between the Navy and the Marines, we keep the Marines fucking going.
That's true. And you know what? This just shows that, like, this is why we're a unique podcast, even though we're not known at all. We're all shipmates from the same fucking period of time on the same ship. I don't know any other podcast that's like that.
I mean, you know, you got what, Unsubscribed and Fat Electrician and those guys, but they come from different military, you know, backgrounds.
We're all from the same command, the same ship, the same time,
and have a lot of different stories together.
And I think that really does mean something when you show, like, hey, we're all from the same command at the same time, and we still talk to each other 20 something years later. That means something.
Yeah, it shows the power of how small this world really is, and you can fucking get yourselves back together. And that's for every veteran out there, man. Like, reconnect with your brothers and sisters, you know, even if it's just one of them. Like, I started with just Gilly again, and then it's, you know, blossomed into this.
And then Gilly called me.
Gilly's really the glue, you know, that fucking fire starter.
No, yeah, I'm not. No,
yeah, you are. You are.
Yeah, you are.
You called me, dude. You called me, and then you're like, hey, dude, what's up? I'm like, dude, I haven't heard from you in like 22, 23 years. I'm like, this is fucking awesome, right? And then you called me another day, and you're like, hey, you want to start a podcast? I'm like, fuck yeah. America, fuck yeah.
America, fuck yeah, save the motherfucking day, yeah.
It will be on Spotify here. It will be on Spotify here shortly, fellas.
The best line now. The best line is, so lick my butt and suck on my balls.
Yeah. Hey, we had that happen in Thailand a few times.
So, Rocky, tell your son's friends to look for the Pfeiffer's DD991 podcast, or just type in the Pfeiffer's DD991 at Spotify, see what comes up.
I'm gonna subscribe to it right now. Let's see. I'm gonna do it right now.
Because here's
I'm gonna look it up because I'm on Spotify right now.
Here's what the page like. It wouldn't crop everything right for the press. So,
well, and that's why I was wondering about audio, because we have never fixed our video.
But we'll see what the audio does.
Dude, it's already there. Totally cool, man.
Come on, let's go.
Episodes be here. See here.
Podcasts.
Boom. And follow. You got a follower now. It's me. It doesn't fucking mean anything, but
how the fuck do I watch it?
There it is. Podcast Jay. Jay, what's up,
what
Jay?
The fuck? God damn it. You have to change that shit.
Yeah, you do. You just expose yourself to the world, motherfucker. All right, I'm up on it now.
Well, we have a follower on the podcast, and it's me. So
You
I don't
just
care.
you just got me. So
We got two.
besides the one, then we get Thumper on there and start moving it through.
Well, it's already there, but I don't know how Spotify fucking works, though, fellas. So
Well, you know what? We're gonna learn. We'll learn together. We'll figure it out because we're gonna adapt and overcome anyway.
it says audio episode 5 seconds.
Yeah, I see 4 seconds left and then it's finished.
So I don't know if it's because it hasn't finished uploading yet or not. So you'll find out.
Oh.
How do I take my name off this motherfucker?
You'd have to change your
We go to settings here.
should be under your account or profile.
Hey,
Because I've got mine up.
we will learn, boys. We will learn, and we'll succeed just like we do it every
Yep.
time.
Like we always do, like we did for 24 years in the fucking Navy or the 8 years in the Navy. Everybody that served.
Exactly.
All right, edit profile name.
See if it'll change it up on the thing.
And the thing it says, don't be a crybaby.
How the fuck? It says edit profile, but username is just don't give me an option. Email, gender, date of birth, country or region.
Put it in there.
I'm trying to change my name so they ain't showing fucking J on there.
Should have to click on it and you should be able to change it. Bring
Wouldn't let me.
up profile. You
Yeah,
should
it's-
see the Pfeiffer's picture.
no, it just here. That's what it shows like go to profile.
Oh, well, I don't edit profile.
Well, we'll look at it later, boys.
See, I did that
Or
earlier.
we can stop going live and go from there.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
Yeah.
ding us off real quick, okay?
yeah, did us off. So
All right. Me boys, me sailors, here we go. Pfeiffer's departing.